is Darren McFadden, and you're listening to The Morning Rush.
Live from the Busch Light Studios.
You are causing a major disturbance on my time.
If I'm here and you're here, doesn't that make it our time?
On your favorite Arkansas sports talk station. Streaming live from hitthatline.com.
There's a lot of lions, tigers, and bears, but there ain't but one razorback. Number one.
This is The Morning Rush.
Borderline erotic.
With Ty Richardson.
That's cool. I can dig it.
And Tommy Kraft.
Do I look happy?
What's wrong?
Lloyd!
The Morning Rush starts right now.
So you heard the call from the 1978 Orange Bowl where you beat the Oklahoma Sooners because we are 78 days out from Arkansas football. We're going to be adding a bunch of these highlights here until the end of the countdown, the Bud Light countdown, which you hear every single day. And we're really excited about football season. We're also excited to come at you this morning on a Recruiting Thursday. The NFL has released their protocol rules. I got these from Tom Pelissero of the NFL Network, and I'm wondering, as we go over some of these this morning, are we going to see similar type of things for college football players and coaches? There's a Yahoo Sports report out there that Cal is looking at potentially landing in the NBA. Is this valid? Do you think it's going to actually happen? Why would he do this if this is a factual report? I also was looking on the North Carolina State message boards prior and after the loss this weekend, and it's always fun to go on different visitors' message boards and see what they think Arkansas is known for. Walmart money, rice production, poultry production. I'd like to ask you this morning, what do you think Arkansas is best known for across the United States? What do you think when people first think Arkansas, what do they think of first? And we'll get to all this coming up here on Recruiting Thursday on the Morning Rush. Good morning.
Good morning. Man, you surviving this snap of heat, or we went from like great spring to like yesterday was insufferably
very hot
and humid yesterday.
Yeah. Played basketball, I was telling you before the show began, played basketball last night, had literally an ounce of water that got drank, and then I did not have any water until I got home, and I just was killing my orange juice that I had in my fridge last night.
It feels, you know what, we're going to have August camp start. You know, it'll be cooler then than it is now, right now in Fayetteville. So, and it's tough out there. You talk about Cal there. Is he just fish? I mean, I can't believe this is just another expedition for a raise. I mean, fishing for a raise right now. He didn't need that.
Can you get a raise off coming off 9-16?
Exactly.
And I thought, didn't he have a lifetime contract?
Yeah, but I mean, that doesn't mean you can't get more money. I mean, just because the terms. I mean, just because we're going to give you the terms for forever and ever. And I like how people get all, well, you know, Nick Saban's extended out 6 years. Well, all these coaches are only at least 6-year deals. But, you know, it makes a nice headline. But, you know, is Kentucky willing to even entertain the idea of doing something to, I mean, what more could you do? Because I'm like you, how do you give a guy more money after the year they just had?
9-16.
Anything short of what is a complete failure at Kentucky, considering what you're paying Cal and considering Kentucky's program. If he's flirting with the NBA, boy, this you lose X percent. You know, Frank Broyles always said that when your name comes up on a job search, you lose 10% of your fan base every time that happens. You can't keep doing it. I would imagine after last year and this story, there'll be some fans that will become dissatisfied quickly with Coach Cal. And I think we were talking before the show, I think there's a lot of reasons to why it's going to get harder for the Caliparis and the Coach K's to stay on the mountaintop with all the new stuff coming down the pipe in college sports and particularly college basketball.
And Jeff Goodman of Watch Stadium was the first one to initially report that Coach K was retiring, and he cited the fact of the name and likeness that's coming about in intercollegiate athletics and the transfer portal. Now, I would guess if this report is indeed true, now Yahoo Sports is reporting the changing dynamics, which I would say those two platforms are the centerpiece of those changing dynamics and the massive expectations, as you spoke to. Now, you asked the question, what is the expectation for Kentucky basketball? I think it's to win the SEC. They always pack out Nashville for the SEC tournament, so I think they expect to win that. And then I also think it's to make a Elite Eight / Final Four. Now, Cal has only won one championship while in Lexington. He's been to 2, 2012, 2014. He's had several other really, really talented teams that have fallen. Let's see. So he's had 31 NCAA tournament wins, 4 Final Fours, 7 Elite Eights, and 8 Sweet 16. So he does have a massive track record of success. Now, how he got to that track record is a story for a different day, because it was always fun. This is where Matt Jones of Kentucky Sports Radio is full of garbage, where when Cal's at Memphis, Jones is just parading all over their message boards how he pays players, cheats, and all that. And then as soon as he comes to Kentucky, he just goes mute and silent and says he doesn't do that. I was wrong. I was mistaken. And I'm just sitting here thinking to myself, no, you just want connections. You want that. And it's just you completely bellied up and flopped just in order to have a working relationship and where you could communicate.
You look around the league and you look at Eric Musselman, you look at Nate Oates, you look at Bruce Pearl. I mean, we can go down. Cal made his hay in this league for a long time when John Pelfrey and guys like Darren Horn and no-namers, that had no pedigree coming up the ladder, tried, swung and missed in the SEC.
That's a great point.
And that was, I guess, pre-expansion, pre-A&M in Missouri. But this league was spending all of its money on football coaches. Mm-hmm. Everyone was trying to catch up to Saban, so ADs were doing what it took to try to get in that game. Because I remember when Saban, they're going to pay him $4 million a year. Can you believe that when he first arrived closer to 15 years ago? I guess 07 now. But, now $4 million, you're in the bottom third of the league. But for a while, that's what they were all chasing. TV money's changed that with the SEC network, and now you look around this league, and Nate Oates was the gold standard last year with Alabama in the regular season. Arkansas was right, kind of on their heels in the final 30 days of the conference slate for sure. Bruce Pearl's a heck of a coach. Was at Tennessee and is at Auburn. So I mean, you could just keep going down the list, whether it's Mississippi State or Vanderbilt seems to be the only one that still hadn't quite figured it out. Everybody else has figured out a way to get a great coach in that can recruit, get players. And if one goes here, one goes there, it's going to get harder on Kentucky. And then the transfer portal's the other thing. So
which Muss and Oates are highly successful at.
Yeah, so, for Coach K, at some point, if you're ever going to retire, you're going to run out of years to retire, right? The runway of life is going to come to an end.
And this was in the works, as you mentioned. This wasn't just a spur of the moment, I'm going to retire. They've worked on the transition from him to John Shire, as well as Roy Williams with Hubert Davis. Right. I would assume that was a transition as well.
This is a major, and if Cal falls in this category, this is significant because of all of that tied together, how potentially the changing of the guard of the Blue Bloods in college basketball, how significant this could be. There's maybe a corner table at your favorite restaurant open for 6:30 on Friday night now. And what I mean is maybe you could climb in at least for a period of time if you've got the right coach and the right recruiting and the right setup, the right recruits coming up in your state. Maybe a program like Arkansas could actually climb into the conversation like they did in the 90s for a while. I think there's some chairs open when the music stops.
Yeah, because as you brought up,
potentially
Roy Williams, if Cal leaves, and Coach K, those are 3 of probably the top 5, top 6 coaches in college basketball that could just suddenly be gone from your sport within a year. That, to me, as Tommy just mentioned, is a massive deal. And if you're Arkansas, and I know a lot of you believe Eric Musselman is this guy that's already resurrected your program, best team in 25-plus years this last year, I am salivating at the opportunity if I'm Eric Musselman, as you mentioned. Kind of like last year, because last year was a down year. Duke wasn't good. North Carolina wasn't good. Kentucky wasn't good. And we saw that Arkansas get to the Elite Eight in year number 2. What could happen years 3, 4, and 5 if there's a cataclysmic change within college basketball? We'll have to wait and see. My money is on Muss.
Just say, Alexa, play ESPN.
A dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, Sakhalin.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
Some serious crappie.
Nice spec.
We got trophies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite. White perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
This song might make you feel cool, but it perfectly describes a fool. I'm gonna take my horse to the old town road and gonna ride till I can't no more, and can't nobody tell me nothing. This path will only lead you to God's wrath, because the Bible says the wicked refuse discipline and treat his words like trash. What good is a nice beat when you're headed down the wrong street? I'm Pastor Heath from Woodland. Think about it.
782-3936. Harry Robinson Buick GMC wants to buy your vehicle, and they'll pay top dollar today. Pre-owned car values are at an all-time high, and your car is worth more today than it ever will be again. If you are driving a 2013 model or newer with 120,000 miles or less, bring it to Harry Robinson Buick GMC, and they will pay you more for your trade. Even if you don't want to buy a new car, they will still buy yours. Harry Robinson Buick GMC, exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
The best TV experience in the nation is available locally with personal service from WOW World of Wireless, your neighborhood professional dish authorized retailer. Dish has the Hopper 3, the most advanced DVR, and delivers a premium viewing experience. Tired of running out of DVR space? With the Hopper 3, you can record up to 2,000 hours of your favorite programming and watch your very own favorite channels and DVR recordings anywhere you go on your phone or tablet. Call now, WOW World of Wireless, at 479-478-6616. That's 479-478-6616 for more details. Or stop by our location at 601 Church Street in Barling, next to Frank Rowe Furniture. Or visit us online at www.shopwownow.com. That's shopwownow.com.
Monthly equipment fees and other restrictions apply. Recording hours vary. 2,000 hours based on SD programming. Remote viewing requires internet connection and compatible mobile device.
Hello, my name is Sidney Moncrief. I've taken over 10,000 shots during my career, and one of them is the COVID-19 vaccine. It's safe, it's effective, and it will allow us to return back to normal. Let's vaccinate Arkansas so we can all get back in the game. It's the easiest shot you will ever take.
Save lives. Get your vaccination. Learn more at healthy.arkansas.gov. This message brought to you by the Arkansas Department of Health.
Doe's Eat Place, serving award-winning steaks, has now added lobster tail and salmon to the menu. You can also enjoy delicious appetizers along with your choice of drinks from the largest selection of wines, beer, and liquor in the River Valley. Doe's Eat Place is open Tuesday through Thursday 5 till 9 and Friday and Saturday 5 till 10. Reservations are recommended. Call 784-9111. That's 784-9111. Doe's Eat Place, 422 North 3rd Street, Fort Smith.
Frank Rowe Furniture knows the price of lumber, houses, cars, and gas are going up. We thought you might need a break. For the month of June, Frank Rowe Furniture is doing no sales tax. You heard right, no sales tax on living room, dining room, and bedroom. American-made furniture, in-store no credit check financing, and service after the sale. Frank Rowe Furniture, 405 4th Street, Barling, Arkansas. Appliances and electronics excluded.
Live music is back on the patio at Joe's Grill and Cantina every Tuesday and Saturday night. Grab your favorite drink and sit on the patio and enjoy your favorite tunes. And don't forget brunch every Saturday starting at 10:45 at Joe's Grill and Cantina. Different brunch specials and your favorite brunch cocktails. Joe's Grill and Cantina. Live music, Taco Tuesday, daily specials, and brunch on Saturdays. Joe's Grill and Cantina, 3400 South 74th Street, across from Harps.
Did you know that you can get your car serviced or repaired without ever leaving your house?
All you have to do is call Jody's Auto Service Center at 479-649-3399. Jody's will pick up your vehicle, service or repair it for you, and return it fully disinfected to your driveway. Pickup and delivery is free for jobs $75 or more. Jobs less than $75 can be picked up and returned for a $10 fee. Let Jody's Auto Service Centers handle all your service and vehicle repair needs. Call 479-649-3399. Jody's Auto Service Center.
ESPN 95.3. The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Crabb.
42-24. Boyd gets the call left side inside the 5. Touchdown, Arkansas! Rocky Boyd with his second rushing touchdown. And with 36 seconds to go, the Hawks find the end zone again.
Call or text The Morning Rush at 877-377-6963.
If we lose tonight, this will be the last call you hear on this program. I'll probably be dead. Now, if I live through it, I'll call back.
So Tom Pelissero of the NFL Network put out the protocols for vaccinated and non-vaccinated individuals within the league. And I'm wondering, as I'm reading through all these different guidelines, the different protocols, if this is going to be how it is even remotely close for college football this fall. We'll talk about that coming up here on the Morning Rush.
We spoke a little bit about the NFL yesterday morning in the 7 a.m. hour with Brett Good. If you missed that, you can catch that on our Bud Light Morning Rush podcast. It's right there at hitthatline.com. Hey, if you're looking for great insurance benefits, you're looking for great benefits to make sure your employees have everything they need, Brett Good's the guy to help you with that, whether it's health insurance, group life, life insurance, retirement plans, any of those things, he can speak with you about and work with you, even staffing management solutions. Also, another service that Brett provides through Henderson Phillips is commercial and personal insurance. So if you're listening this morning and, hey, I'm not the HR person, don't own a company, just work somewhere, but I need homeowners and auto, he can help you with that, or just a life insurance policy for yourself. If you own a business and you need new commercial insurance on the building and the business itself, he can help you with all of those things, workman's comp, those type of things too. 479-651-2292. That's 651-2292. Directly get in touch with Brett Good with Henderson Phillips Employer Solutions.
So fully vaccinated individuals within the National Football League, there's no daily testing. For non-fully vaccinated, there's testing every day. If you are not vaccinated, NFL players will be banned from nightclubs, bars, house parties, concerts, ECT, and they can fine an individual up to $50,000 for the first events and more thereafter. So they're separating.
So what are they trying to tell you here?
That you should get vaccinated.
No, you have to get vaccinated.
Yeah, you have to get vaccinated.
They're not just mildly suggesting that. They're just basically making life very frustrating. I don't know if unbearable is the right word, but more difficult if you don't get fully vaccinated. So that's the stance that they're taking. And I imagine most players will probably just do it and get it behind them so they don't have to live with the restrictions. Anyone that's been tested multiple times, can you imagine having to be tested on a daily basis? You know, however you feel about vaccines, you'd probably just, it might not change your feelings, but you'd still go through with the vaccine to avoid that hassle every day.
I saw some players were not happy about this coming from, where's the NFL office?
New York City.
New York City, from Hierarchy and Roger Goodell. Some players were frustrated with this, and maybe the worst part, they can't use the sauna or the steam room if they're non-vax. That just
just come to Arkansas and sit outside if you need a sauna.
I can't imagine that. But
we got a sauna and steam room. It's right in the front yard. About 3:30 today.
I know we have a good contingency of Kansas City Chiefs fans, Dallas Cowboys fans, and other NFL fans, including Packer fans, that listen to this program on a daily basis. And I wonder, and I listen, you probably have an opinion about this one way or another, but I'm wondering what kind of protocol we are going to see enforced with college sports this fall. Because I know that the majority of the baseball team is vaccinated, but not all of them are vaccinated, is what I've been told.
I don't know. I mean, I've heard that spoken about. I mean, because of HIPAA, I don't think they're going to come out and say, well,
correct,
these five guys
they legitimately can't. They'd get sued.
I think you're going to see in most university settings that everyone, team, staff, bus driver, sod guy, everybody's going to be vaccinated. It's going to be much like what you just said with the NFL. Hey, if you want to work here, you got to get vaccinated. That's just, these university settings are different, man.
Is that legal for them to? And I'm not begrudging.
I don't know.
I don't know how this works, but that was kind of my first thought. What's the
I don't know
legal
that. They don't say it quite that way, but they do what the NFL's done. Well, if you're not, then we're going to test you every day. We're going to put you in these over here in this category on this list where your life's just more restricted, and that's how this is going to go. Just like when we went to Mexico, we had to take a test and get a negative result in order to come back home.
Even though that you're vaccinated.
Even though I'm vaccinated,
right.
I had to still take a test to get back home.
And what I did is I took advice from my dad who works in pharmaceuticals, and I asked him, and I wasn't vaxxed for quite some time, and I don't have an opinion one way or another if you get vaxxed or not. That's for someone that has a much larger and better and more pristine-looking degree than I do. But I wonder with players and coaches who may be against this and may have an issue with this, what kind of pushback you're going to see, not only from this level, but from coaches and players at the collegiate level as well.
Well, there's no question. This isn't getting into politics, but there's no question the policies in each state, when you go further north, change versus the states further south. And in the southeast, where we cover football primarily, the restrictions or the guidelines are a lot different than what you're going to see in New York or New Jersey or Pennsylvania.
I did see USC and UCLA are having full stadiums this fall. I was shocked and floored when I saw that.
So, again, some of that's about vaccinations and turning the corner, and numbers are down, even though we've seen a bump here and there. And then I think as much about it, they don't come out and say it, that it's about financial survival for a lot of these programs.
Yeah.
We talked about Missouri's baseball, and 17 of their 25 players are in the portal. They've made major cutbacks with coaching and all. There's a lot of these schools that are trimming fat and cutting corners, and players aren't happy about it. And I think Missouri baseball is one example, as we were talking about earlier in the week, with
17
of their 25. Yeah. So, and it had to do with a hitting coach that they moved a volunteer up, got rid of a coach. He just
60K,
if you're going to get over and back on track financially, you can never do it as an athletic department without selling all your football tickets. They've got to be available for sale.
So when you have a volunteer coach, is Bobby Warnes making like $60K?
I don't see. I thought they were making. I thought they were making a lot less than that.
Really?
But maybe the dynamics has changed with college athletics. I thought it was like closer to 20.
Okay.
So
that was just something I was thinking about. And when it comes back to this idea, and I heard Cowherd discussing this just on social media. He walked into a juice place or something, and it was one of those things where he's fully vaxxed, and there were two guys that were wearing vaxxed, and they looked at him weird, and he's like, I'm healthier than you. I'm fully vaxxed. Like, I just, this whole time we've been told to either mask up or you get vaxxed. Well, now that you're vaxxed, and then people are still looking at you for not wearing a mask, it's like, what's the point of getting a vaccine if you're still going to have these rules and restrictions? That's my whole thing. Like, if you're going to...
Well, we got to get nationally to like a 70% deal for that stigma to stop.
Hey, we are brought to you this morning by the Hit That Line Podcast Network. Always search Hit That Line wherever you listen to podcasts. It's built by the Breeden RV Center. Family-owned and operated, and no-pressure, laid-back atmosphere, and always home of the free maintenance for life. Headlines next.
Streaming live from HitThatLine.com.
This is Tony Bua, and you're listening to The Morning Rush.
Since 2009, the Arkansas Scholarship Lottery has provided more than $1 billion in scholarships to thousands of Arkansans just like you. So thanks a billion, Arkansas. If you'd like to apply for the scholarship, simply go to scholarships.adhe.edu and fill out the information. And just like that, you're applied. The deadline's coming up, so don't forget. Apply now at scholarships.adhe.edu.
Standard Materials Group has immediate openings for ready-mix drivers, in the Northwest Arkansas area. If you have a CDL license without an automatic restriction and want to be home every night, want to work with a company that offers great pay, benefits, and a great team environment with growth opportunity, apply today at jobs.crh.com. Again, that's jobs.crh.com. Standard Materials Group is an equal opportunity employer.
Hey, it's Ty Richardson for Shangri-La Resort. They're going on their 65th year, giving you some of the memories you treasure to this day. Take it from me, I grew up going there. The Carrs are going on their 3rd generation of taking care of you. Mama Carr makes the best pie in all of Arkansas, and they wake up at 3 in the morning just to start making them. Check them out online at ShangriLaResort.net and check out their Facebook and Instagram pages for some of the best scenery in the natural state. Shangri-La Resort, a touch of paradise and a boatload of fun.
Hey, Tommy here. I want to take a minute to tell you about our friends at R-Track, I-40 at exit 58 in Clarksville. They've been around 17 years doing things right, providing great value to their customers with compact tractors and outdoor equipment to the Arkansas River Valley. See the full line of LS brand tractors with 22 to over 100 horsepower models available. Nearly all feature a front-end loader for maximum utility. It's all at R-Track, exit 58 off I-40 in Clarksville. That is R-Track in Clarksville.
Ramos Roofing is a local roofing company and have over 25 years of experience in the Oklahoma area. Are you looking for a residential or commercial roofing need? Ramos Roofing is the business you can trust. Offering discounts for senior citizens, law enforcement, and healthcare workers. Ramos Roofing can help you with your insurance claim. Ramos Roofing, working with you to build a better home. Call 479-420-9903. That's 479-420-9903 for Ramos Roofing.
Do you find yourself smacking yourself in the face every time you walk out in your yard? Well, Mosquito Joe can fix your itch. Mosquito Joe has a team of licensed, professional mosquito control experts to rid your yard of those pesky mosquitoes so you can actually enjoy your yard anytime, day or night. To get started for just $39, call Mosquito Joe today, 479-202-9960. That's 202-9960, or visit arkansas.mosquitojoe.com.
Hi, this is Melissa with True Grit Running Company. Each day we see familiar faces who have supported us from the beginning because they see the benefits of an active lifestyle. We're also always meeting new customers who are taking their first steps towards making running or walking a part of daily life. We have the opportunity to share in their successes and help them achieve their goals. The people of Fort Smith and the River Valley are why we believe we were voted one of the best running stores in America. Visit us and see how we can help you. True Grit Running Company, 6808 Rogers Avenue, Suite B, behind Chick-fil-A.
Did you invest in real estate only to find out that real estate takes up too much of your time? If you answered yes, then it's time to make a call to the experts. With more than 30 years of combined property management experience and more than 16,000 units managed, Trinity Multifamily are the ones to call. Get your life back. Call Trinity Multifamily at 479-452-1817 or online at trinitymultifamily.com. Trinity Multifamily, your teammate in the real estate game.
Whether it's a game day, a holiday, office function, or your family lunch or dinner, Whole Hog Cafe Fort Smith is ready to serve you their award-winning barbecue and sides. Dine in or call either of the Whole Hog Fort Smith locations, Burrow Road or Phoenix Avenue, or go online to wholehogfortsmith.com and check out their buddy packs and party packs. Both Whole Hog locations are currently open 11 till 6, Tuesday through Saturday. Experience award-winning barbecue and sides at Whole Hog Cafe today.
The Martins came over, we were having spaghetti when we suddenly noticed that we started getting sweaty as the temperature approached 90 degrees. My buddy said, man, you gotta call AshleyAir.com. When your air conditioner breaks, they're the one you want. AshleyAir.com. They're fast and they're good and they got it going on. The technician showed up the very same day. Got it fixed right and fast, he was on his way. When your air conditioner breaks, you know who to call. There's only one choice, AshleyAir.com.
Harry Robinson Buick GMC wants to buy your vehicle, and they'll pay top dollar today. Pre-owned car values are at an all-time high, and your car is worth more today than it ever will be again. If you are driving a 2013 model or newer with 120,000 miles or less, bring it to Harry Robinson Buick GMC, and they will pay you more for your trade. Even if you don't want to buy a new car, they will still buy yours. Harry Robinson Buick GMC, exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
ESPN 95.3.
Good morning to the Morning Rush, everybody.
Dennis Johnson, one of the best in the country. Here he goes, and there he goes. Dennis Johnson, foot race. He'll win it. Touchdown, Arkansas.
All your favorite podcasts in one place. The Hit That Line Podcast Network. Brought to you by Breeden RV Center. Just search Hit That Line wherever you listen to podcasts.
Got a couple All-Americans from the National Collegiate Baseball Writers Association from your Arkansas baseball team that we'll get into with these headlines and coming up here on the Morning Rush.
Hey, I was out of the country last week, and one of the things when you go to Mexico or Caribbean or anywhere else, your ESPN3, a lot of your apps you watch games on don't work. I made the move several years ago to Dish, and you get the Dish Anywhere app, and I got this with World of Wireless, and I was able to log in, and all the games that were on ESPNU, ESPN2 for baseball, watch them. And that's the cool thing. Even if you're just here and you're stuck in a doctor's office or you're stuck at your kid's football practice or whatever this fall, and you want to watch the 6 o'clock news, you can pull it right up on your phone or your tablet or your computer and watch live TV anywhere you're at with Dish. And it's not a penny extra for this. It's a really cool feature that no one else offers to watch live TV. Others you can watch on demand and maybe your DVR, but the live TV, that's a really cool deal. We hooked it into the HDMI off the computer into the hotel TV. Man, it was just like being at home watching the game. So, hey, that's one reason why, and plus a low price and a 2-year price guarantee, why you should make the move to Dish with our friends at World of Wireless. 877-305-DISH. It's 877-305-3474 for World of Wireless.
So Kevin Kopps, Patrick Wicklander, and Christian Franklin are the 3 All-Americans that you have, according to National Collegiate, the Baseball Writers Association. And Patrick was the second-teamer. Christian was the third-teamer. I think we know where Kevin ended up on this list. First-team All-American.
Should name the team after him.
Yeah, he's been pretty stinking good this past season.
And I guess an injury sets up an opportunity to have this standout season. I mean, a lot of times in sports, this isn't how it works where you have 4 or 5 years in this case. And I had COVID. He had Tommy John's. His story's unique and inspiring of all the things just in his career he had to overcome to get to this year in order to really, have a standout season that I don't know, it's a generational type season, however you want it, whatever adjective you want to put on it. But it will be a long time before we see someone that falls in this category. I mean, you think about the Kevin McReynolds. You think about the Johnny Rays of this program. He's going to be in those same breaths. And I'm going back to the late 70s and early 80s with those guys. Tom Pagnozzi, I know he just played a year, but these guys. What you're hoping, though, is to see, hey, will this translate? Can 2 years from now we look up and he's taking the ball in the 8th inning in a big league game, and he becomes, the household name for closers, in the big leagues. So that would even further the legend, I think, so to speak. But I don't think I do, and I don't know that a lot of people really fully appreciate what we saw this year. We're excited about it. It led to a lot of wins, but with Kevin Kopps, I think as it sinks in a little more, and this All-American status is just one more indicator of it's going to be a long time before you see a relief pitcher, have a season like Kevin just came off of.
And hopefully he'll be recognized tomorrow at 10:30 when they announce the Dick Hauser Trophy, which, again, it's going to be awarded virtually this year. Now,
when's the Golden Spikes announced? I don't know. Let me Google that one. I shouldn't expect any of us to know that date, but because that's the other big one. Those are the two.
I just know the Dick Hauser's tomorrow at 10:30 because Phil and SmackDown and Maddie, for whatever reason, it seems like the big news always comes like at 1 o'clock directly after their show, but they were excited to see that it's right before. But I know it's relatively sooner than later. Now, I will say this. So you got the virtual thing for the Dick Hauser Trophy, which kind of stinks because you'd like to see it given to him in person because I think Kevin has a great chance of winning it. But did you see the email that circulated with College World Series media members? Did you see that?
Nope.
Okay. So they sent out an email, and treetopping this email from the NCAA, they basically told members of the media that have teams that they cover within the College World Series, don't come. In all In all honesty, that's what they said. Now, they talked about how there's not going to be any in-person opportunities for interviews, and basically the sum of the email, the sum of the statement was don't come. So the reason I bring that up, and I'm forgetting who was the one that said this, I think the NCAA, I think the NFL, I think the NBA, and a lot of these teams, a lot of these programs, a lot of these franchises and leagues, they kind of liked having the media at arm's length this past year.
Well, I think we've learned a lot of things in life, but in sports and how we cover sports that aren't changing when COVID's eradicated and we don't even talk about it. Zoom press conferences will still be a thing.
And I think that's going to be a problem, in my opinion. Here's why. It's just like for those of you that either own a business or have gone through an interview process this past year, it's not the same.
Nope.
It's not the same when you're directly talking with someone in person. It's not the same when you're having to deal with someone remotely rather than seeing them in the office every day. And it's made it difficult on, like, you think about a lot of the beat writers that you read every single day, the Nate Allens, the Tom Murphys, the Bob Holtz, the Clay Henrys. Like, they've adjusted as it is. But, and there's a key but in there, the content, to me, it's they've busted their tails, and it's guys, gals, whoever works in this industry, not just here in Arkansas. It's just you don't get the full feel when you're not in person talking to a coach, talking to a player at practice, that type of atmosphere. And it's always going to be left wanting, in my opinion, because of that. And I hope they go back, but I don't know if they're going to.
Well, I think there'll be a mix. But and some of these guys will say it publicly. Most will tell you privately. But I mean, yes, you want to be in front of them, but the idea of not having to go over to campus, find a parking spot, and wait till practice is over to interview a few coaches and 2 or 3 players when all of that's on Zoom and you can get what you need right from your air-conditioned living room in August, there's some perks to go along with. It's convenient.
No,
there's some convenience, and you can still get content. I think there will be a mix of this stuff, you know, when we look up in a couple of years where the weekly press conference with the head coach will still be maybe in person, and we'll gather together for that. But some of these post practices will still be virtual, just for convenience of all parties involved.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, I don't miss the you know, we used to call it the circle of death after practice, where everybody wanted to huddle
the
in,
scrum.
And, you know, the media gaggle around, you know, trying to get your mic in there. You had to work out and do your lat raises to hold your microphone up for 7 minutes in a row. You know, just that type of stuff, and in you know, the same question being asked 4 times because the guy that asked it the 3rd time was at another one and didn't hear the first 2 people ask the same. Those things just got tedious to me when that was part of my weekly routine to do those things. That's no fun either. So I think there are some good things we've learned out of this last year that will stick around.
Yeah. The Athletic has you as the 3rd best team in in SEC basketball this next year for preseason rankings. Saw that. I was really excited about that. I'm hyped for Arkansas basketball. We'll come back to the Yahoo Sports report that Cal could be looking at an NBA job later on in the program. Also, I brought this up yesterday.
I guess the lifetime contract's just not enough anymore.
I guess. I brought this up yesterday. Here's Charles Barkley sounding off on Washington, D.C. sports radio how the higher-ups at Turner won't let him say the big old women in San Antonio anymore.
If you crack a joke the wrong way, they're like, oh, no, you crossed the line. I mean, they won't even let me talk about San Antonio anymore. You know, when I'm always talking about them big old women down in San Antonio, they're like, Charles, we got one lady wrote an article. Yeah. I'm like, first of all, I didn't call anybody personally fat in San Antonio. I was just joking around. And, well, this one lady wrote this article. I'm like, so y'all going to let one lady – we've been having fun with this for probably 10, 15 years. and when we go to San Antonio, the people are having a blast with it. I mean, the people in San Antonio, they had T-shirts made up. Now, I mean, I don't have to go back there anymore because their team sucks.
He's retiring, which sucks.
Well, that does, because is there a more impactful analyst in any television setting, studio or otherwise, than Charles Barkley?
They almost hired him to do hockey because they got
because he has a sense of humor. He's willing to say. I don't think all these executives that he's talking, and what he's saying is exactly right. I mean, we see it time and time again in the media trade publications and where people are fired or reprimanded or told not to do things. Now, Charles isn't going to get fired because there'd be an uprising if they removed him, from the NBA coverage on TNT. But and I think a lot of us see him primarily on the March Madness coverage when he's on there. He doesn't get everything right, and he doesn't know all the rules and names from time to time, but he's entertaining. He's funny. He's willing to say things that, are off colors sometimes, but they're fun. I don't think people take themselves there is that element of society that takes themselves or their product or their team way too serious. But for the most of us, if you poke a little fun, if you don't go, it's fine. I think he's I don't know anyone in San Antonio, but I don't imagine that Charles Barkley's been ruled out from ever coming to South Texas as a result of that.
They welcome him.
They would welcome him in. They think it's funny. I mean, get over it. Have a sense of humor a little bit.
I remember I was watching a program.
Too many people take themselves too serious.
Yeah, I was watching a program with my grandmother who lives in Kansas City, and there was a woman joke that was made, something like, women are only good for being in the kitchen or make me a sandwich. And I looked kind of awkwardly at my grandmother, and she looked back at me, and she was like, what are you looking at? And I was like, are you not offended by that? She's like, no. And I was just like, it's like, and she looked at me and she goes, people take
somebody will be offended for her.
Yeah, people take themselves way too seriously. Like, jokes can't be made. Like, one of these days, I'm just going to get on here. I'm just going to tell white racist jokes for 30 minutes and see how that goes.
Been nice knowing you.
Okay. Yeah. No, you don't want to do that?
No, there are lines you can cross. That would be one of them. So,
nothing out of you this morning?
Yeah, people like Charles Barkley are treasures, and he speaks his mind. We all clamor for honesty until we get it.
Okay.
And Charles gives us just the right amount of honesty and humor and all of it wrapped into one. And then there's some guy in a suit and tie saying, "Oh,
no."
Yeah, I don't like any of that.
Yeah, I don't know why that people are
Let
so.
people be natural and be themselves.
It's like when you want to curse on a program and someone says you can't. That shit. Let them be themselves.
Mm-hmm. Well, you can somewhere else. I mean, if you want to do that, go.
You listen.
Go to Barstool.
I know you want to. I know you want to be like you want to be one of the people, but you're just one of the bigwigs, man.
Mm-hmm.
You're just one of the guys that's keeping the man down. It sucks.
I
man.
just want to keep us in business.
That's fair. All right.
Maybe I'm protecting the rest of us from you.
So you mentioned the idea of not getting offended. Coming up here, I want to talk about what Arkansas is known for. And this is, again, whenever you go to a message board prior to someone playing the Razorbacks, it's funny to hear whether it's North Carolina State, Nebraska, some of these schools that you played of late in baseball, or that you play all over the place just in football, basketball, and these SEC fan bases or visiting fan bases think they have an idea of what your state is about. We'll answer that coming up here in just a sec.
I'll tell you what weekends are known for. Brunch. Because you got a little more time. You can wake up a little later. You can have lunch and breakfast kind of together at 10:30 or 11. Breakfast at noon is okay on a Saturday or Sunday, right? So you can do that. Where do you go? River City Bistro. They are also known for a great brunch every weekend, gourmet-type brunch, Saturdays and Sundays at River City, and you can get their menu. They open a little earlier at 10 o'clock with a special brunch menu. Bruce will make you a great omelet just the way you like it with the ingredients you want. They've got premium bacon, great sausage and ham. That's always the spot or the sign of a great breakfast spot. Do you have good bacon and good sausage? And I'm going to tell you, it's the kind of sausage you want to eat with a fork when you go have brunch at River City Bistro. They've got eggs and omelets. They got the great waffles. They got everything you want, plus mimosas, Bloody Marys, and all your brunch favorites that you're going to find every weekend beginning at 10 at River City Bistro. If you haven't been there, check them out online, rcbistro.com. You can even order online through their through the app there for lunch and dinner throughout the week. It's great stuff. Or stop in for brunch this weekend or lunch today, dinner tonight at River City Bistro, 7320 Rogers Avenue, inside the Stonewood Village Shopping Center in Fort Smith.
Matt and Fayetteville texted in this morning that he is offended. They are talking about people getting offended.
I'm with you.
Chris texted in, and you're welcome to text in at 877-377-6963. You can also comment on our video live stream, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. What is Arkansas known for as a state? Chris says, unfortunately, Arkansas's reputation for most people is that we are backwards hillbillies. Arkansas sports reputation is that we are good when we always choke. Sad but true, and he thinks that we need Eric Musselman to break the curse. Is that Arkansas sports reputation across the SEC and country?
Are we cursed?
That they choke and are cursed?
I don't know that we're cursed. There are plenty of examples, and just like after baseball, and the way it ended, everybody wants to march out all the heartbreak stories and go through the years and go over the battle scars. Because there's probably more examples of that. But you know what? That's probably true with most programs. There's only, that's why they're called the Blue Bloods. The very elites are only Alabama football in recent times has more stories that don't include heartbreak, that includes championships rather than heartbreak. So, I don't know that Arkansas is unique in that. I think there's a lot of examples of programs. And when it comes to baseball, does anyone have more heartbreak than, say, like Florida State, who got to all those College World Series?
Mike Martin, yep.
And never won one? I mean, and that's what we've talked about trying to avoid. So, I mean, I don't think Arkansas is unique and alone in this conversation. That's
got 3 years to that 90 until 2024, right?
It seems to be our year.
64, 94, 2024.
Every 30
very odd if that ended up happening, if they didn't have one until that.
If that happens, I'm getting out early on 2054 futures.
Greg in Fort Smith says Arkansas is known for all the beautiful waterfalls that we have.
Well, there are some. Petty Jean Mountain always comes to mind. You can hike back in there. It's a great one there.
I think it's Garvin Gardens. That's what it's called.
Okay.
Have you ever been there?
Is that the one
I think it's
in Hot Springs?
Yes. It's unbelievable. Mm-hmm. Chuck responds. He says diamonds, rice, fish in lake streams, Bill Clinton, Walmart, Tyson, and Johnny Cash. God's
rice.
country.
We're on the western side of the state, so we don't think about rice. But Drew, our guy who's joined us from Memphis, he drives through a lot of that area of the state.
Rice
getting
fields.
Here from. We're the number one rice producer like in the world.
Is poultry up there too? Are they the number one poultry too?
Some of these stats, but I mean, we over on the other side of the state that we don't see a lot of. They're huge rice producers.
Good old Southern cooking, right? Like you go anywhere, and that's where. I was talking to SmackDown about this. We got a bachelor party where we're staying in a cabin lodge in Jasper, Arkansas, and I've been told that you'll eat some of the best food you've ever eaten in your entire life.
Yeah, go to the
Jasper, Arkansas.
It's the Ozark Cafe there on the square. Get the volcano burger.
The volcano burger. What's on the volcano burger?
Cheese, and more cheese.
Okay.
Looks like a volcano of cheese.
Okay. We were talking.
They put it on the griddle and it kind of fries and crisps out.
Mm-hmm.
And the cheese is like a sombrero hat sitting on top of the burger, and it covers the whole plate. You've never had anything like it.
It's good.
Awesome.
Okay, I'll look that up when we get to break. Kind of just the natural beauty of this state. You always talk about the White River, the North Fork River, all these different places. I'll be in Hot Springs and Mount Ida this next weekend, Lake Washita, Lake Hamilton, and I just enjoy the fact that we have this natural scenery. And I enjoy going to big cities, but I wouldn't want to live in a big city. Like, I'm speaking to the idea of living in a New York, living in an LA, living in a Boston. Like you just don't have that. Like you do here.
I drove through Dallas the other day to get to the airport, and you got 8 lanes on your side of the concrete wall. I don't want any of that. Every morning, toll road everywhere you go.
It's expensive. So I'll be there the first week of August, and I'm not like because I always get that letter in the mail. It's like you spend $40 on toll.
I'm gonna get one, and every time I drive by one of those signs, well, it's 60 cents if you got the toll tag, which I don't have a Texas toll tag.
Yeah.
Or it's $3. I can mail it to you. Send me the $3, I guess.
Matt says catfish.
About 30 of them coming.
You think we're known for our catfish here in the state of Arkansas?
I think we make some good catfish. Everybody knows a good place to go eat catfish. Yeah.
It always seems to be like that. I also put the ducks. Think about Stuttgart, Arkansas, which we talked
Duck
about
hunting.
The White River.
Yeah.
Stuttgart's probably
it's the Mecca.
You would be surprised and we always talk about like who comes in and fishes up there at Gaston's. You would be surprised at the level of celebrity, artist, athlete, pick someone that's famous, movie star, that
business
hunt,
executives,
that duck hunt in Stuttgart, Arkansas.
No,
Now they
you're
do
exactly
it.
right.
They do it very kind of under the radar, similar to going to Gaston's and fishing out there. They don't want their presence to be known because they don't want to
till they're gone,
big crowd, and then they're like, oh, by the way, I was here. So I think that's pretty cool. Now, have you ever diamond hunted in Murfreesboro?
I have not.
Okay.
I have been close to that area. We have never been to the state park down there.
Okay.
I always think it's neat when you read that story every a few times a year where someone finds a diamond that's worth millions, or worth a lot of money. It happens. I say freely. Several times a year, there's one found worthy enough of some publication. So. That's a neat thing. No, I never went down there and done that.
My dad has taken my brother, myself, and a friend down there. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It was a cool, unique experience as a kid. If you have kids out there, this might be something that you go. I don't know. Where's Murfreesboro in Arkansas?
South part of the state. Like if you were on your way to Magnolia, it's down by Nashville. South of Hot Springs, down that way.
Okay. What about I know that Oklahoma City's Tornado Alley. Is Arkansas known for tornadoes here?
We're in the kind of like we're in the Bible Belt. We're in Tornado Alley too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
yeah.
I feel like that Arkansas, whether it's Bologna, I know Fort Smith has been affected. There's been several cities.
Well, it seems like Bologna is the town in our state that gets it more than anywhere.
Unfortunately, yeah. Walmart money. I hear that phrase more like the guy that you hear Wednesdays, Bill Keene, Nashville Sports Radio on halftime. Bill loves using that phrase when it comes to Arkansas. And if you go to a message board with the team that's either played or about to play Arkansas, and it also helps that you have a big Walmart.com sign on Donald W. Reynolds Razorback Stadium, but you hear the term Walmart money associated with the Arkansas Razorback program.
But other than Bud Walton Arena, the Walton family, at least from an athletic standpoint, I think academics, it's a different story. I mean, yes, Bud Walton donated $15 million at 30, it's been 30 plus years ago before that project began, but the real Walmart money's really come from other families and other people that were on the ground floor at the very beginning of Walmart that made millions too. I mean, Walmart made a lot of millionaires in Northwest Arkansas, and those folks have donated. I mean, you see, the bombs in the walk. You see a lot of other names on entrances and facilities up there that were tied to Walmart, but it's not like the Waltons float. It's not like the Walton family floats the athletic department up there.
And kind of to go off Walmart, if you go to really Bentonville, Arkansas, which I would say is probably I don't know if I necessarily want to live. It's the nicest. I would say the nicest city in the state. I'd have to think about that statement, but it's very Walmart-esque. You think about Crystal Bridges, the square, just that. I don't know. Per capita, where the most millionaires in Arkansas live, but if I had to guess,
that'd be a good
Bentonville,
start.
It's Bentonville, Arkansas, and they've kind of
we don't belong there.
They've kind of they
throw us out.
Well, there's a really nice.
Surprised we can get the drive up there.
There's a really nice place up there called. Have you ever heard of Blake Street?
Blake
Street. It's like it's like a club. But it's not a club. They have like a listing room for old records. They have a pool. They have other things. And I was with one of my buddies who's a member there, and I was just completely out of place. I was wearing like an Hawaiian shirt, khaki shorts, and my dad's sandals, and I'm looking at all these other people that probably make 3 times the income I do, and I'm looking at Matt, and I say, Matt, I don't belong here. Thanks for taking me. The food's good. The drinks are good. But I don't belong here. Yeah. Take me to a dive bar after this because I don't belong here.
Take me where there's some haze of smoke in the air. That's where I fit in. Yeah.
Give me a cigarette, something like that. All right, a lot to get to in hour number 2 of the Morning Rush. Tom Murphy's going to join us here on a Recruiting Thursday. There's a report from Yahoo Sports talking about John Calipari potentially having vested NBA entrants. What about these new protocols for the NFL? When are we going to see, or are we going to see these same type of things with college sports? We'll get to all that. Stay with us. It's a Recruiting Thursday on the Morning Rush.
This is Brett Good, former Razorback and Super Bowl champion with the Green Bay Packers. Everyone loves to be on a winning team. That is why I have joined Henderson Phillips Employer Solutions. Henderson Phillips can help you tackle all your employee benefit, health insurance, and staffing management solutions. Plus, I can help you with any commercial or personal insurance need. Come join my team at Henderson Phillips. Call me, Brett Good, at 479-651-2292. That's 651-2292.
Burton Pools and Spas is your source for backyard fun. Cool off in your own above-ground pool this summer. Cash and carry savings at only $19.99. Don't miss this opportunity to make your backyard fun this summer. Ask about Burton's full line of Doughboy above-ground pools that are built to last for years. Cash and carry savings on above-ground pools going on now at Burton Pools and Spas in Springdale and in Fort Smith, and always online at burtonpools.com. Burton Pools and Spas, your source for backyard fun.
The largest air show in the South is coming to Bryan, Arkansas. Mark your calendars for the Arkansas Heart Hospital Wings Over Bryan Air Show, June 19th at the Saline County Regional Airport. Featured acts include the high-flying Team Aeroshell, the Bulldog Formation Fly Team, and the 24,000 horsepower jet truck Aftershock. Tickets on sale at all Central Arkansas Big Red stores for only $15, and kids 12 and under get free gate admission. Visit wingsoverbryan.com for more information. It's the Arkansas Heart Hospital Wings Over Bryan Air Show, Father's Day weekend.
Tommy Kraft here for The Fence Man. Do you own a business that needs more security? Or maybe you just want a better look and more curb appeal? A new fence from The Fence Man can give you both. In business for more than 40 years, The Fence Man can custom install any type of fencing, gates, and controlled access for your business. Call The Fence Man and ask about 18 months same as cash financing with approved credit. 479-782-3936. That's 479-782-3936. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work.
The Golf Nut has been Fort Smith's #1 golf shop since 1994. Take advantage now of Vice golf balls. Buy more, save more sale. Buy 5 or more dozen and pay only $28.99 per dozen. The Golf Nut has a great selection of shoes in stock, including the Nike Air Jordan AP G3s and the new Jordan Speed 5 spikeless from Under Armour. Spend some time on the TrackMan and Foresight simulation base. Just call for an appointment. As always, check Facebook for daily specials. The Golf Nut, 5121 Towson Avenue, your #1 golf shop since 1994.
Did you know that you can get your car serviced or repaired without ever leaving your house? All you have to do is call Jody's Auto Service Center at 479-649-3399. Jody's will pick up your vehicle, service or repair it for you, and return it fully disinfected to your driveway. Pickup and delivery is free for jobs $75 or more. Jobs less than $75 can be picked up and returned for a $10 fee. Let Jody's Auto Service Centers handle all your service and vehicle repair needs. Call 479-649-3399. Jody's Auto Service Center.
Doe's Eat Place, serving award-winning steaks, has now added lobster tail and salmon to the menu. You can also enjoy delicious appetizers along with your choice of drinks from the largest selection of wines, beer, and liquor in the River Valley. Doe's Eat Place is open Tuesday through Thursday 5 till 9 and Friday and Saturday 5 till 10. Reservations are recommended. Call 784-9111. That's 784-9111. Doe's Eat Place, 422 North 3rd Street, Fort Smith.
Introducing Budweiser Zero. 0% alcohol, 0 grams of sugar. Full Budweiser flavor. For all the moments you want a beer and need to stay on your game. Budweiser Zero. 0 alcohol, 0 compromise.
River City Bistro is Fort Smith's favorite place for lunch, dinner, and brunch. Open 7 days a week, both on the patio and cozy dining room. River City Bistro, locally owned and open weekdays 11 till 8, Saturdays 10 till 8, and Sundays 10 till 3. Want River City Bistro curbside to go? Just search on Facebook or Instagram for River City Bistro or go to rcbistro.com. River City Bistro, 7320 Rogers Avenue in the Stonewood Village Shopping Center.
Woo! Hi folks, Larry Rath here from Rath Auto Resources. I need a vacation. I bet you do too. But I can't take a break until I take in 57 trades. So this month, I'll pay you up to $4 grand more than Kelley Blue Book value when you trade for the Rath Road Ready vehicle of your choice. And we've got a great selection. Each one hand-picked and inspected in our Meineke Car Care Center. So send your old ride packing and get up to $4 grand more than it's worth when you hit the road in a nicer, newer car. Trip delayed by past credit mishaps? Don't worry. We've mapped out the road to more approvals, and you could get up to $4,000 more than Kelley Blue Book value for your trade. Keeping the car you have, get it ready for summer in our Meineke Car Care Center with free AC checks, half off brakes, and buy 3 get 1 free on all tires. Only at Arkansas's favorite used car dealer, Rath Auto Resources, and the Meineke Car Care Center, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, or online, rathauto.com.
Requires bank approval. Negative equity may be refinanced. Offer absolutely ends by June 30th, 2021.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
Sunny sky today. Our high this afternoon will be right around 95 degrees. Mainly clear sky tonight. We drop down into the low 70s. Sunny skies, mid-90s on Friday, and then more of the same for Saturday. Lots of sunshine. Our high into the lower 90s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
All your favorite podcasts in one place. The Hit That Line Podcast Network. Just search Hit That Line wherever you listen to podcasts. Brought to you by Breeden RV Center. You're listening to The Morning Rush live from the Busch Light Studios on ESPN 95.3 KERX Paris Fort Smith. This hour of The Morning Rush is brought to you by the Bobby Garland Baby Shed. Available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle stores all over the place.
You won't be able to contain these Razorback fans. Here they come out as Travis carries the football, and he'll be tackled by everybody. Here they come. Arkansas wins in a tremendous upset over number 2 ranked Oklahoma, 31-6.
Hey, this is Darren McFadden. You're listening to The Morning Rush.
Live from the Busch Light Studios.
You're causing a major disturbance on my time.
If I'm here and you're here, doesn't that make it our time?
On your favorite Arkansas sports talk station. Streaming live from hitthatline.com.
There's a lot of lions, tigers, and bears, but there ain't but one Razorback. Number 1.
This is The Morning Rush.
Borderline erotic.
With Ty Richardson.
Sunshine. That's cool. I can dig it.
And Tommy Kraft.
Do I look happy? What's wrong? Lloyd!
The Morning Rush starts right now.
78 days out from Arkansas football. You heard the clip of the 31-6 victory over the Oklahoma Sooners, which many of you remember vividly what happened in that football game. It was great to see what the Arkansas Razorbacks did that day. I was talking to my roommate, who's a diehard Oklahoma fan, joking with him last night, and I was like, man, you're just lucky that Arkansas's not on Oklahoma's schedule this year because they would curb stomp them. He just kind of looked at me for a sec, kind of shook his head a little bit. Didn't say, didn't reply, didn't retort much. Obviously, I was saying that with a little sarcasm implied, but I would like to, at some point, play the Sooners again once Arkansas gets back fully on its feet.
You know, there's a couple bowl tie-ins. You know, generally Oklahoma doesn't have the kind of season that leaves them in like the Texas Bowl. You know, you got to lose 4 or 5 games at least in the Big 12 to probably get to that part. But that's higher up in their pecking order. But generally Oklahoma finds themselves, you know, at or near the playoff. So
well, generally Kentucky doesn't go 9-16 in basketball, but they did this last season, and there's a report that's been kind of circulating as of yesterday from Yahoo Sports about Cal's future in Lexington. We'll get to that coming up here on the Morning Rush.
Let me tell you about our buddies over at Riley Farm Dental, 5901 Riley Park Drive, right at the entrance to Riley Farms in South Fort Smith. Dr. Sparkman, Dr. Brogan, they focus on the patient, making sure you're comfortable, that you like the experience every time. If you have anxiety about going to the dentist, sitting in that chair. My wife does. It's not something that some people enjoy. They dread. They put it off. Well, at Riley Farm Dental, I think you're going to find it to be a comfortable experience every time you go. All kinds of dental procedures, from braces to implants to cosmetics, all done right there. One of the reasons they've been voted top 3 best of the best every year by their customers and by other people in the community since 2017. So check more of their services out. Read more about Dr. Brogan and Dr. Sparkman online at RileyFarmDental.com. That's RileyFarmDental.com. Or make an appointment at 226-3500. That's 226-3500 for Riley Farm Dental.
We were also discussing bank accounts and auto debiting and just paying your bills for the show. Y'all scared me a little bit because I went back and looked at my bank account. I looked at my Charles Schwab, and I looked at my credit card statement. Luckily, everything's intact. But y'all were saying y'all have had some rough experiences when you auto debit. Luckily, knock on wood to this point, I have not had that, and hopefully it continues. And it was rough for Cal this past year. They go 9-16. I know we had some fun with that throughout the basketball season. You get your first win in Lexington for the first time since 2014, your first win against Kentucky since 2014. And one of the reasons that this report is citing that Cal wants to leave is not just the expectations, but the changing dynamics. And I think there's 3 reasons that the dynamics are changing. One, the transfer portal, which I know coaches publicly say they like. They don't like it. 2, name and likeness.
They like to get players out of it, but they don't like it when the players can go in it.
Exactly. 3, the SEC basketball landscape is changing. Now, we mentioned the Athletic has you as the projected 3 team in the league this next year. I think Tennessee was second, and then Kentucky's 1, and I think Alabama's 4. So the dynamics within the conference, this is something that Mike Slive, the late Mike Slive, pushed at the end of his tenure. We got to get our basketball up. Baseball's best in the country. Football's the best in the country. Let's make basketball the best in the country. And now it's not to that point yet, but it's still life years ahead of where it used to be when you have guys like Ben Howland, 2 Final Fours, Cal. You have Eric Musselman, who took you to an Elite 8 this past year. Nate Oates, who's one of the more up-and-comers in this league. Rick Barnes. I mean, you've added to the coaching residency of this league, and it has helped out across the board.
Yeah, Mike White's another one of these up-and-comers. Went from Louisiana Tech to Florida. He's had some success. So, yeah, I mean, you say it's changing, and I agree with that. I would say it's changed just based on how poor it was
better term.
10 years ago. And I think once this SEC Network money came in, everyone was chasing the next Nick Saban. They were pouring money into finding football coaches. That worked for some, didn't work for others. And in order to fund that, the basketball coach, they kind of went on the cheap at a lot of places, except Cal, where they kind of went on the cheap on the football side of it. So, yeah, I mean, for years, the other schools in this league, and particularly when it was a 12-member league before A&M and Missouri really came in, there wasn't a lot of programs year in, year out really dedicated to basketball. Now it seems like, as I said, Mike Slive, they went to centralized scheduling, trying to get the RPIs for the league up, did away with divisions. So I think the league has changed, and you got some Hall of Fame coaches now in this league. And I think when you replace them with guys, and bring in young guys like Oates, and Musselman's not a young guy, but he's a newer coach to the SEC in this level. He looks like a young guy, though. It makes for an exciting time in basketball, and it takes some of the pressure off football. That's the other thing it does. The better basketball is at all these universities, it eases things up on the pressure for your football program to be elite.
Cal dismissed the report, as he often does, because this isn't the first time that it's been speculated that he could make a jump from the college level to the NBA. But to me, this report has some teeth based on what you just said.
He can't be flirting for a raise, right?
Basically, he's got a lifetime contract. They're just coming off the worst season that he's ever had. And there's no doubt that he's had success. They've been to 8 Sweet 16, 7 Elite 8s, 4 Final Fours, and he's got 31 wins. But in Kentucky and Lexington, they won championships, and he has 1 in his tenure since it started at Kentucky. Now, they've been to 2, 2014, 2012. That's a long time for Kentucky fans to be left wanting. I mean, over 7 years now that you haven't been in the national championship game. And again, I mentioned they've been to 4 Final Fours, and they've had some really quality teams. But when you're looking at the brand of Kentucky basketball and what it is relative to the SEC, it's still got a stronghold. But, and there's a but in there, I don't feel that it's the same level of just hand on your throat like it has for quite some time because of the rise in Alabama basketball, the rise you're wanting to see in Arkansas basketball. That's what Doug Gottlieb said, and has said over and over again. Arkansas is a sleeping giant. Must just woke him up. And I think Cal knows that, and I think he's afraid of what's coming, not just with Arkansas, but these other basketball programs, because he knows, Tommy, that he can't just waltz through the SEC and waltz to a number 1 seed. It's going to get more it has been more difficult for him.
We were having a conversation the last hour about here's a real chance for somewhat of a changing of the guard in the next couple of years in college basketball with all the retirements and the things you went through there with Hall of Famers that have defined college basketball in our entire lifetimes. With Duke and North Carolina having changes at the helm, we're going to see, I think, a significant change in college basketball. And is this the opening that, and if Cal went on, I've got my doubts that he will. He's making over $9 million at Kentucky, 9.27. Is this a chance for a program like Arkansas to jump up, at least like they did in the 90s, 5 or 6 years, and have a run that kind of gives you that golden age again, back to multiple Final Fours and, maybe win a chance. I think somebody's going to seize a moment, because I think you're going to see a decline out of some of these traditional programs that have always had a chair when the music stopped.
Seize the day. What's that from again? Carpe diem?
Probably, huh?
Carpe diem. Seize the day. That's what you got in front of you for Arkansas basketball, because 2 of your blue blood coaches are gone. Not to say that Shire and Hubert Davis can't have success in Chapel Hill and Durham, North Carolina. But if you're Arkansas, if you're Eric Musselman, and if Cal actually does leave, you got to be licking your chops with what's to come.
Just say, Alexa, play ESPN Arkansas.
ESPN Arkansas from TuneIn.
This is Jarius Wright, and you're listening to the Morning Rush.
Did you know about 1 in 9 men will be diagnosed with prostate cancer during his lifetime? Unfortunately, all treatment options can have side effects, like erectile dysfunction, urinary leakage, and bowel complications. However, SpaceOAR Hydrogel can help minimize your risk of side effects when used with radiation therapy. To learn more about the risks and benefits of SpaceOAR, visit spaceoar.com. That's spaceoar.com. Spaceoar.com. Sponsored by Boston Scientific.
Hi, I'm Bill Bolton of NWA Gold, Silver, and Coins. I started in this business in 1972 at an auction house that specialized in antique and estate jewelry, sterling silver, and coins. In that time, I've seen gold go from $35 an ounce to today's price of $1,683. I want to talk to you about the coins you may have inherited and how important it is to deal with someone who understands coins and this market. In 2011, we had a mother and daughter come into our store and sell us a lot of jewelry they no longer wore for $3,300. The daughter then pulled out an 1850 California $10 gold piece. Jeremy offered her $900 and she accepted his offer. He then advised her to have this coin graded. She did, and she sold it for $36,000. If you don't know what you have, please come see Jeremy in our Bentonville store. Don't sell at an auction or an estate sale and get less money. What's in your safety deposit box could be worth thousands. NWA Gold, Silver, and Coins, Bentonville, Fayetteville.
This time of year is hectic, and we know you have things to do and places to be. Southern Tire Mart can help you get there and save you money on America's most trusted brands like Michelin and BF Goodrich. Take advantage of our $29.95 oil change, which includes a 27-point vehicle inspection. Come see us at Southern Tire Mart just off I-540 at exit 14 in Fort Smith today for quality Michelin and BF Goodrich tires and the best-in-class service. Get where you need to be with Michelin, BF Goodrich, and Southern Tire Mart.
For a dependable, fuel-efficient tractor from a company committed to the future, choose a Branson tractor. Each of our tractors is backed by a 6-year limited warranty with models available ranging in horsepower from 22 to 58. You are sure to find the tractor that is right for you. Make sure you call or stop in today at the new location for Bush Tractor at 6100 South 0 Street in Fort Smith. Again, that is 6100 South 0 Street in Fort Smith. Or you can check them out online at bushtractor.com.
Harry Robinson Buick GMC wants to buy your vehicle, and they'll pay top dollar today. Pre-owned car values are at an all-time high, and your car is worth more today than it ever will be again. If you are driving a 2013 model or newer with 120,000 miles or less, bring it to Harry Robinson Buick GMC, and they will pay you more for your trade. Even if you don't want to buy a new car, they will still buy yours. Harry Robinson Buick GMC, exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Business is back, and your locally owned TGI Fridays is now hiring for multiple positions. For over 26 years, TGI Fridays in Fort Smith has been locally owned and a fun place to work, and we want you to come be a part of our family. Apply in person or message us online on our TGI Fridays Fort Smith Facebook page. If you've been out of work and are needing a job, or you're just looking for a career change, we have multiple positions available in the front and back of the house, and we want to welcome you to our family at your locally owned TGI Fridays in Fort Smith.
When was the
the last time you looked forward to seeing the dentist? Well, if it's been a while or you haven't had the best of experience with dentistry, meet Marcy Van Ash McKinney Family Dentistry. They take care of it all: crowns, bonding, dentures, bleaching, and cosmetic dentistry. They even offer oral consciousness sedation available for your comfort. That's Marcy Van Ash McKinney Family Dentistry at 807 South 21st. Call for an appointment today, 494-7600. That's 494-7600.
Nothing says summer fun like fishing with a Thill Bobber with the family. America's favorite floats by Thill are available in a variety of sizes and colors. These premium balsa wood floats are made by the thousands at Pradco in Fort Smith, Arkansas. They are great at detecting the slightest bites by fish and work great in tandem with crickets and redworms. Available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle shops everywhere. America's favorite floats by Thill.
Farm Credit has been a trusted friend for over 100 years. They are ag financing experts. So whether you're a longtime farmer, new to farming, or buying your dream home or land in the country, their experienced staff has a plan to fit your goals, needs, and your bottom line. From farms to land, livestock, equipment, and more, Farm Credit finances it all. Learn more at myaglender.com. Farm Credit is an equal opportunity lender.
Locally owned Lumber One can handle all of your building needs. They've built their business on having great relationships with everybody from contractors and builders to the everyday build-it-yourself. Lumber One has a full-line door shop to handle all of your door, window, and trim needs. And along with lumber, roofing and drywall products, attic wall and floor insulation is available. Lumber One also does blueprint takeoff with access to design services with estimates available. So go where the pros go. Lumber One, located on Industrial Park Road in Van Buren.
ESPN 95.3. The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft.
The Arkansas Razorbacks have just won in overtime the AutoZone Liberty Bowl.
Just say, Alexa, play ESPN Arkansas.
ESPN Arkansas from TuneIn.
So you got some All-Americans for Arkansas baseball. Kevin Kopps, Patrick Wicklander, and Christian Franklin. Where did they fall? Got some headlines to get to, as well as Tom Murphy coming up in about 5 minutes.
You live music guys, y'all like live music?
Oh, yeah.
They got it back on the patio Tuesday nights and Saturdays at Joe's Grill and Cantina. So be sure and check out their Facebook page, find out more about who's playing, and it's Tuesdays and Saturdays at Joe's. So if you like live music on the patios, and Tuesdays and Saturdays are also, by the way, Dollar Taco Days. So you can have some of those great chicken or beef tacos for $1 at Joe's Grill and Cantina. They also start Saturdays out with brunch at 10:45. Full menu available, but they got some brunch favorites only on Saturdays. Great breakfast cocktail can await you there as well, like a mimosa, screwdriver, Bloody Mary, and more. So they got all of that. So start your Saturdays out at Joe's Grill and Cantina. Live music on the patios, Tuesdays and Saturdays, Joe's Grill and Cantina. 3400 South 74th Street across from Harps in Fort Smith.
You got Kopps as a first-teamer, Wicklander as a second-teamer, and Christian Franklin was a third-teamer. These were decided by National Collegiate Baseball Writers Association. Now, this Friday at 10:30, right before halftime, so I know Phil, SmackDown, and Matty T will be really excited. They're going to announce the Dick Hauser Trophy.
All right.
Dick Hauser Trophy Golden Spikes Award. Right. I'm trying to. I always
Dick
switch
Hauser Trophy. That's kind of like
Golden Spikes Award.
You got the Heisman and then the Davey O'Brien.
Mm-hmm.
I guess is one way to look at that. I was looking up because we talked about this in the last hour. June 24th, USA Baseball will announce the finalist, and voting will begin for the finalists for the Golden Spikes Award, and they announced the winner for the Golden Spikes. It says here on this website of theirs that it will be in July. The 43rd Golden Spikes Award winner will be named in July. So
kind of late, isn't it?
That's when I Googled Golden Spikes Award winner date. That's what was the first thing that came up.
For some reason, Tommy, I could be wrong. I thought Benintendi got his during the Missouri State Super Regional, and
it's not that early.
It wasn't that early. Okay, then I'm wrong. I remember just getting a chance to take a picture with it as Andrew was speaking with us and the other Arkansas media members. So listen, I guess that's how it is. I can't tell you one way or another. We're talking a little Arkansas basketball, a little Kentucky basketball last segment. The Athletic, they're pretty high on Arkansas basketball this next year. They got you at number 3 in the Southeastern Conference. Now, I've seen Jeff Goodman, our buddy Aaron Torres, these different college basketball writers, Jeff Borzillo, Gary Parrish. A lot of them have Arkansas in their top 10 preseason. And I am so hyped. And I saw that it's like you were just talking about, Joe. So I saw that Wade Morgan's son was at Northside's basketball camp, and Jalen Williams took a picture with Jalen. And here's little, what's that kid? What's their son's name? I have no idea.
Which one?
They got 2, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, whichever one it was, he's here. Jalen's way up here. And then you got
those are great pick. I saw a lot of people at the baseball where you were getting pictures with Vanover. Those are always
including
fun pictures.
Jen took a picture with him, and like I don't think Jen's short, but Jen's here. Connor's way up here. I remember seeing Connor at Z Bar a couple months ago, and I got a buddy that's 6'5", 6'6", and he made him look like a shrimp. And I'm sitting here, I was like, how many times do you walk around and you're not the tallest person in the room? It's like very rarely. But he stood next to him, and it was just like a complete difference. It was the weirdest thing. But again, 7'3", right, Tommy?
Yeah, I mean, I was on, when we were
7'1". Is he 7'3"?
Vanover?
Yeah.
7'3".
Okay, yeah.
Tallest player to ever play at Arkansas.
Because Stephen Hill was 7'1", and then Connor 7'3".
So
man, that's wild.
When we were on vacation, got in an elevator, and someone that was, I don't know, they were 7 foot, but they were someone you would suspect to be a basketball player. They had to be close to that tall, 6'10" plus. And it's just weird, And that's why it's why Shaquille O'Neal is such a unique guy, because most of those people don't have great personalities, because it's just been so awkward. That is kind of awkward, and for them and for everyone around, and they become like a circus act. Everybody wants their picture with the 7-foot guy. You become the bearded lady at the circus. Get your picture made.
Yeah,
it's 3 tokens.
Shaquille O'Neal is one of the
most of them don't communicate well with society.
Yeah.
And
the other thing about Shaquille O'Neal, you talk about uniqueness and how he stood out, and we'll talk about his cohort, his partner Charles, in just a sec. Shaquille, people forget, he used to be like a fast break guy.
Yeah.
Like him and Penny Hardaway, who was the LSU point guard that he played with? I can't think of his name. It would have been early 90s, late 80s. I can't think of the guy's name.
Too many cervezas between them.
Dale Brown's obviously the head basketball coach for LSU back then, but Shaq used to get up and run the floor. Now, in his Lakers days and his Heat days and his Celtics days and his Cavs days, not so much. But this guy used to get up and down. It was a scary situation. Not many charges were taken on Shaquille O'Neal, because that was a life-altering decision if you decided to step in front of the Shaqness.
Ask him about Oliver Miller and those Razorbacks.
Blocked by Miller. I bet he remembers that well.
Yeah.
Well, that's a Shaq story for you. Here's a Charles Barkley story. Apparently, he can't say big old women of San Antonio anymore.
If you crack a joke the wrong way, they're like, oh, no, you crossed the line. I mean, they won't even let me talk about San Antonio anymore. When I'm always talking about them big old women down in San Antonio, they're like, Charles, we got one lady wrote an article. Yeah. I'm like, first of all, I didn't call anybody personally fat in San Antonio. I was just joking around. And this one lady wrote this article. I'm like, so y'all going to let one lady? We've been having fun with this for probably 10, 15 years. and when we go to San Antonio, the people are having a blast with it. I mean, the people in San Antonio, they had T-shirts made up. Now, I mean, I don't have to go back there anymore because their team sucks.
I'm so disappointed that he's retiring. I think it was the 2 years is what he said. I am severely...
There's no replacement for him.
No, and in my opinion, in my humble opinion, the 2 best game shows are as follows. It's Inside the NBA and College Game Day. And I have Inside the NBA from a pure entertainment standpoint above College Game Day.
Their chemistry's the best.
Yeah, not that College Game Day is not as entertaining, but we know Lee Corso's not what he once was. We know that there's just a lot more that goes into that. But they are so authentic and unique. And what I anticipate what happens, I got to watch that 4-part documentary series that's either out or that's coming out. But they have this plan, and then Charles Kenny and Shaq just say, screw it, we're going to talk what we want to talk about. Because it's like EJ's like trying to direct them, kind of guide them along, and then they just start going off in these bunny trails that hysterical. Yep. It's much-watched TV, whether it's the NCAA tournament or whether it's just inside the NBA.
Yeah, I think most of us see him during March Madness in the tournament because I think a lot of our audience probably doesn't tune in before and after NBA games on TNT, but he's a treasure, man. You're going to – the chemistry will be messed up when he leaves, and that there will never be anything else like that because the political correctness of the corporate world and society in general will never let something like that probably organically happen again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no question.
We want everybody to be honest and speak their mind until they do it.
Yeah. Let's welcome in Tom Murphy here to the Morning Rush. Tom, speaking of what Tommy's talking, speaking your mind, one of your coworkers, Wally Hall, has done that for quite some time, and he's joining me today at 2:30 on Trusting the Process. You got a story or two that I should ask Wally Hall later on today?
Oh, thanks for hitting me with that out of the blue. Yeah. And while I think about it, I'll tell y'all, Ernie Johnson had to be the straight man pretty much, but he would get in a wisecrack here and there. And for the old-timers, his dad was a longtime member of the Braves broadcast crew. Right. So I think Ernie's done the family legacy well. But if you're a Braves fan, you feel like Chip Carey doesn't hold a candle to Skip Carey or Harry Carey. Those two guys are monoliths in the business, and just big time.
That went downhill quickly in that lineage.
Chip just doesn't get it done. He's just not very good. I'm sorry, Chip. You're not.
He's not. You're right. So, what was the other guy on there? Pete Van Wieren. What was the other guy on the Braves broadcast in the 80s, 90s?
Well, I mean, Ernie Johnson, right. And I mean, they had Milo Hamilton for a while, and
I think it was Pete Van Wieren. Pete Van Wieren and Skip Carey when I grew up. Ty's totally lost in this conversation.
Yeah.
Ty, when I was a kid, you either watched WGN and the Cubs, or you watched the Braves on WTBS, and
that's it.
That's what That's when you had 32 channels on your TV.
That's right. And
what's that?
Ty and his gen don't get that. They don't understand that.
Don't understand it. So, well, we haven't had you on since kind of the official announcement of Dow Loggins joining the football staff. He's going to be the tight ends coach. But Tom, we've had a lot of conversation with different folks and amongst ourselves that the feel is he's going to be so much more than just a tight ends coach. He is going to be a real addition to kind of the offensive brain trust for this staff. What's your perspective on the addition of Dow Loggins? I know it's a few days old, and the release came out a day or so, but this has been kind of out there. You've had some time to formulate an opinion. What are your thoughts on Dow's addition to the staff?
I think it's a great hire, being an Arkansas guy, and then just understanding that he's seen all kind of offenses, and he's done it on the professional level. How do you attack what defenses are doing? I would think he would have a great head for helping with the schemes, and just a very engaging guy. I mean, very uplifting. Last time I saw him was at a pro day inside the Walker Pavilion a few years ago. Just reaches out, and I didn't cover him here in the early 2000s. I wasn't here yet, but he's made it feel like I know him in our few exchanges. So very welcome addition to the staff, I would say. And I mean, he was an analyst with Penn State, but before that, I mean, it was one NFL job after the other. Mm-hmm. Now, he was working for some franchises that, not traditionally strong deals. I mean, he was with the Browns, he was with the Bears, and his work with Jay Cutler apparently is kind of it's the best that Cutler ever got. And I think Jay had his shortcomings. He wasn't real mobile, and I think Dowell got some of the best work out of Jay Cutler. So I just feel like he'll be a good fit to the mix for the Razorbacks.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what year exactly it was, but it was right after Tyler had, I guess it was 14 or 15. What year did we go to Houston and play Texas? That
the 14
season. Okay, so it's right after that when Tyler Wilson was with us and started kind of working with us on a daily basis here in the Morning Rush, and we were month or two into to kind of beginning that venture together, and he got a call, and it spent a few weeks at least with the Bears, and it was because Dow was there and he had an opportunity because someone knew him and kind of gave him a shot. And I'll be interested to call Tyler and get some of his thoughts on this, because for a brief time in the NFL, they were at least in the same film room and meeting rooms together. So there'll be another guy that I'll look forward to having back on the program soon and asking him about his time while being brief with him in the NFL.
Yeah, that'd be a great resource for you, and I do think Tyler could provide some real valuable insight there. But yeah, he was.
Jay,
I
think Jay was in that room too with him too at that time. So
that's right. Yeah. So Dow went on to the Bears, and he was with the Dolphins, and then the Jets, and those franchises weren't doing particularly well at the time. So kind of had a difficult run with the NFL teams for a while.
Tom Murphy with us here on the Morning Rush. Tom, another thing that's kind of come out as of late. Yesterday, Tom Pelissero of the NFL Network released the NFL's protocols for vaccinated and non-vaccinated individuals. And my first thought always jumps to how is this going to affect college sports, most importantly the Arkansas Razorbacks. And as a big Falcons guy, I'm probably assuming you saw this news. What kind of protocols do you think we'll see for vaccinated and non-vaccinated individuals this upcoming season for collegiate sports?
Well, that's a tough one, and I think fortunately for a lot of us, but unfortunately for John Rahm, he kind of set an example, I guess, that if you decided not to do it, then something could crop up, and it cost him more than $1 million because he was on his way to winning that tournament. Yeah. And so I don't know what kind of prize money he got as a non-winner, but anyway,
probably zero.
Yeah, I would guess so, since he had to withdraw, but I don't know how that works.
Even if he had choked away the lead, he'd have gotten nearly $1 million to finish second or in top five, hundreds of thousands. So
that's right. Yeah, so I don't know. People can make their own decisions, obviously, but then when you're going to be in close contact with people, that impacts other folks. So no matter what you feel about the vaccine, if your job requires you to be around a lot of people, then maybe you just go ahead and do that. And so I know that the baseball team reached a point at Arkansas midway through the season where I think if they had 85% inoculations or double doses of the vaccine, that they didn't have to follow protocols in the dugout, which would have been, I guess, mask wearing and stuff like that. So thankfully, the Razorbacks hit that, and they went the rest of the season without having to undergo those protocols.
And the question I had regarding that, Tom, is if you had it, you had the antibodies, and I know it's been kind of a wide array of the amount of time until you could get it again. Like, I'm going to be honest, like I got it. The first one, my arm was sore. The second one, I felt like a dog the next day. I felt awful. And I had to go home and literally sleep it off for a little bit. For someone that's maybe have had it once, like it kind of seems unfair that they're getting made when they potentially have the antibodies that have it, right?
Ty, I cannot tell you how that should work, or people make their own choices, and I just don't know what the medical authorities know about recidivism or getting it again. So all these governing bodies are going to have to make tough decisions. And honestly, with all the amount of young people who have their strong opinions about things, there's probably going to be some blowback and some resistance on people who don't want to follow the authority. It's symbolic of society right now that you can't get everybody on the same page on almost any issue.
The NFL has a different perspective than college sports, because in the NFL you got 32 franchises and cities you're trying to protect with the policies you set from Roger Goodell. They've shown through the last year you can do without fans and still survive and even financially thrive in some cases that way because of television and players. So you got to protect your coaches, players, and your key personnel, and you got to keep the games on TV to stay in business. In college sports, they're still reeling from not having fans. TV money's not enough because you don't have billionaire owners to shore up any losses. So, Tom, in college, when we look at these policies and how it's going to affect the sports we follow in close contact with the SEC football and all that, getting fans back in the stands is paramount to getting back on track and survival, I think, in some cases for maybe for lower level programs.
Yeah, there's no question about that. They've got to have the ticket sales, season ticket sales, and so on. But you're right, and hopefully we don't have to get to a point where you got to carry around a vaccination card. But who knows where that will lead? But I think the SEC schools are probably going to be in a good situation when this rolls around in the fall, and I think you're starting to see 100% capacity announcements at various schools, and I don't doubt that Arkansas, after having been able to do that for baseball, that when football rolls around, they'll be in a strong position, unless something weird happens. I mean, I saw on the news today that the coronavirus cases in some parts of Missouri, southern Missouri somewhere, are spiking a little bit. So you can't let your guard down, and I do think that a lot of people mentally, since we've kind of, I guess, gotten over a hump, have just gone out in public a lot, and who knows who's vaccinated. So, you got to keep your guard up, I'd say.
Well, we're just a hair over a month away from SEC Media Days. A few weeks after that, we'll be starting practice. So, I mean, it's while it seems like a long time, 77 or 8 days? 78 days till the start of the season.
Yep.
It's really a lot closer than we all think.
Tom, can you believe that Tommy's passing up all you can eat at Dave & Buster's this year, like we had this 2 years ago? Can you believe he's passing that up at SEC Media Days?
No, I can't believe it. I do hope they do that one again. That was a fun one. We got to play a lot of games and stuff, and I don't get to Dave & Buster's too often. It just seems like I'm too busy. But, Tommy, I tell you, if the Razorbacks had gone to Omaha and had a long stay, it would have been a very small gap between that and SEC Media Days and the opening of camp. They're taking away our summers, and I'm not happy about it.
Well, as a guy filling 3 hours of radio every morning, I was hoping we had a couple more weeks of baseball to conversate over. So
yeah,
right,
how about those Atlanta Hawks last night, y'all? Was that not like a comeback for the
26 point? I know you probably didn't watch.
Y'all tell me about it. Hey, you guys tell me about it.
26-point comeback for Trae Young and company. I was watching that with my roommate last night. My goodness, Tom, were you jumping out of your seat watching that game?
Well, honestly, I was watching some World Cup soccer and something else, and then I didn't know the game was on last night, and I saw an updated score. It was 105 to 104 with a minute something left. So I flipped over, and let me tell you, that crowd in Wells Fargo Arena, Sixers, they were absolutely stunned. Apparently, after they got the huge lead, nobody wanted to take a shot. If I can believe Twitter, nobody wanted to take a shot for the Sixers, and sometimes you end up, running into a big problem when you just keep passing the ball around.
Yeah, the Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons, I was watching the game last night, just exactly how you stated, and just missing shots too. So good for your Atlanta Hawks. Hopefully they can close it out in 6, and Tom will close you out here, and we'll do it again next Monday, buddy.
Sounds good, y'all. Look forward to that.
All right, have a good weekend.
So last night, it was a great game. I know we won't spend too much time here, but I should have had that in my questions because I know Tom was very happy with the result last night.
I guess if the Thunder were better and they were involved, we'd be more interested in this part of the.
This was hard to watch as a Thunder fan this past year. Now,
not interested.
Just give draft Moses Moody, and all will be well. Sam Presti, please.
Wouldn't that be great?
Please draft Moses Moody.
We could drive 2.5, 3 hours and watch him play.
Oh, my gosh, yeah. I would. I mean,
now we would be interested. Now we can have some conversations.
Yeah. I mean, really the only Razorback that's playing significant minutes, I'm trying to think, is Bobby Portis right now. Yeah. And because Patrick really lost his starting job to Reggie Jackson, Patrick Beverly. Isaiah's not in the Sixers rotation. Mason on the team. Probably missing another one. But, yeah, Bobby Portis, really the only significant Razorback that's playing at this point right now.
All right, if you're planning a special dinner out or something this weekend for Father's Day, think about Gaston's White River Resort. If you're a little bit of ways from there, it's a great day trip. Spend some time driving through a beautiful part of our state and see the White River. Here's what's on the dinner menu. You can go to gastons.com, click menus, scroll down, you'll see the specials. Now, the full menu is available. They got jumbo sea scallops on the menu beginning tonight. bison short ribs, grilled mahi. They always fly in some great seafood. And then Saturday night, they'll have 2 versions of prime rib, a 12 and a 16-ounce. I don't know why you'd mess with the 12. Just jump on up on that 16-ounce prime rib, USDA certified Angus prime rib, Saturday night. So it's all there. Some great dinner specials this week. And the full menu, the John Boat Salad Bar, and always the great view of the White River at Gaston's White River Resort. 870-431-5202. Gaston's, a first-class time every time.
Just say, Alexa, play
Dandy white perch, big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouth.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
This song might make you feel cool, but it perfectly describes a fool. I'm gonna take my horse to the old town road and gonna ride till I can't no more, and can't nobody tell me nothing. This path will only lead you to God's wrath, because the Bible says the wicked refuse discipline and treat his words like trash. What good is a nice beat when you're headed down the wrong street? I'm Pastor Heath from Woodland. Think about it.
For 36 months with $29.99 due at signing. Visit buyatoyota.com for details. Offers available in select states and N6 121.
Business is back, and your locally owned TGI Fridays is now hiring for multiple positions. For over 26 years, TGI Fridays in Fort Smith has been locally owned and a fun place to work, and we want you to come be a part of our family. Apply in person or message us online on our TGI Fridays Fort Smith Facebook page. If you've been out of work and are needing a job, or you're just looking for a career change, we have multiple positions available in the front and back of the house, and we want to welcome you to our family at your locally owned TGI Fridays in Fort Smith.
Frank Girl Furniture knows the price of lumber, houses, cars, and gas are going up. We thought you might need a break. For the month of June, Frank Girl Furniture is doing no sales tax. You heard right, no sales tax on living room, dining room, and bedroom. American-made furniture, in-store no credit check financing, and service after the sale. Frank Roll Furniture, 405 4th Street, Barling, Arkansas. Appliances and electronics excluded.
Did you know that you can get your car serviced or repaired without ever leaving your house? All you have to do is call Jody's Auto Service Center at 479-649-3399. Jody's will pick up your vehicle, service or repair it for you, and return it fully disinfected to your driveway. Pickup and delivery is free for jobs $75 or more. Jobs less than $75 can be picked up and returned for a $10 fee. Let Jody's Auto Service Centers handle all your service and vehicle repair needs. Call 479-649-3399. Jody's Auto Service Center.
The Golf Nut has been Fort Smith's #1 golf shop since 1994. Take advantage now of Vice Golf Balls. Buy more, save more sales. Buy 5 or more dozen and pay only $28.99 per dozen. The Golf Nut has a great selection of shoes in stock, including the Nike Air Jordan AP G3s and the new Jordan Speed 5 Spikeless from Under Armour. Spend some time on the TrackMan and Foresight simulation base. Just call for an appointment. As always, check Facebook for daily specials. The Golf Nut, 5121 Towson Avenue, your #1 golf shop since 1994. Game Time Energy, lifetime experience. Learn more about Buffalo Wild Wings and why it's a great place to work. Apply today at workthe4wings.com. You'll be working with the hottest brand around and having tons of fun doing it. Welcome to the big time.
Join the winning team at Buffalo Wild Wings. We are hiring. Apply now at workthe4wings.com. Competitive pay, team member discounts, flexible schedule, insurance options, incentive contests, and much more. Work where every day is game day. Roar!
Some of my fondest childhood memories are from volunteering with my grandmother. Helping others was her passion. She'd always say, "The sweetest fruits of life come from serving others." And she was right.
At Shelter Insurance, we strive to make a positive impact in the communities where we work and live.
Ask Shelter agents Tiffany Newman or Warren Robertson about renter's insurance.
Have your travel plans changed? Looking for a place that's close to home and keep your family safe? Gaston's White River Resort is located on the beautiful White River. They offer private accommodations in their lodges and cabins. Most cabins have a fully equipped kitchen or let their restaurant staff deliver to your cabin. Call 870-431-5202 and change your plans to Gaston's White River Resort. Gaston's White River Resort, a first-class time every time.
Hi, I'm Kelly Smith, owner of Dixie Digital Imaging. Would printing from your phone or tablet make your life easier? Are you emailing files to yourself so that you can print them from your desktop or laptop? The Xerox VersaLink and AltaLink lines of network printers and multifunction printers will natively print using your phone's built-in capabilities. Apple AirPrint and Google Cloud Printing just work. To order yours today, give us a call at 783-6600 or visit dixiedigital.com. Dixie Digital Imaging, bringing document innovations to the River Valley.
ESPN 95.3.
Good morning to the Morning Rush, everybody.
Jefferson going to keep the football. You called it left side, inside the 5. Jefferson to the goal line. Touchdown, Arkansas. 12 yards for KJ.
Follow us on Twitter at Ty Sports Radio and at Tommy Craft ESPN.
Hearing Chris Stapleton's Arkansas coming in, we had a fun topic in hour number 1 talking about what is Arkansas known for. We'll either come back to it this segment or later on in the program because there were a lot of varying opinions on that on the Morning Rush.
Coming up tomorrow, we'll have our Fence Man Friday picks about this time, so be here for that. If you need a new fence at your home or your office, they can do that, whether it's a chain link fence around the backyard or whether it's a custom wrought iron fence or vinyl fencing, something for a commercial setting. They do all kinds of fencing projects. Even if something you've got in your mind that would be a custom design, be it wrought iron or lumber or wood, they can do that for you. And they have 18-month same-as-cash financing available with the Fence Man. It's one call away, 782-3936. That's 479-782-3936. For the Fence Man, he ain't afraid of no work.
So I was telling you about the Athens trips that my brother and some Morning Rush listeners have already booked their flights and planned. They'll play the Georgia Bulldogs the first week in October, and we talked about the Between the Hedges. Well, one of the guys in the group, Tommy, he had to convince his wife, and now they're going to Europe next month. That was the chip that he had to play in order to get to go to Athens for that weekend. So is that worth it?
Going to Europe?
If Laura says, listen, you can go to this game or this game, but we have to go to Europe, is that worth that?
You know how expensive it is to go to Europe?
Oh, that's what I said.
Tens of thousands, you know.
It's that much? I thought it would be like
Google you up a plane ticket from, just pick wherever you think you'd leave from. Dallas to where are they going? Rome or Paris or, pick you a spot. London. Just see what the plane ticket's going to run you.
Yikes.
Into like 12-plus, depending on where you're going, 12-plus hour flight, Yeah, you're going to spend some coin going over the big pond.
Okay. Yeah, I've had a desire to go to London.
When's he got to go to Europe? Now, is this a promise?
Next month.
Oh, next month. Oh.
So I don't know where he's just going to come up with that type of money. But I was just thinking about this because we were having the fun PDA conversation yesterday. We were talking about marriage a couple weeks ago, and he is married. And I have friends in multiple stages of life. The married ones with kids, which is another stage.
Oh, yeah.
The engaged one, the pre-engaged ones, and then the don't know what the blank they're doing with their life right now, kind of like myself. So does that seem worth it that you have to go to?
Well,
you're going to get some fun out of Europe.
I would love to go to Italy, Greece, that part of Europe. I don't think I want to do it right now in the state of the world.
His wife's a heck of a bargainer, it sounds like.
Well, I would love to. She's a good negotiator. So, if I got a trip to Italy, I'd be okay with it if I could swing it.
Okay. They're getting, I guess.
My guess is he was going to have to do that anyway. Regardless, he's getting the Georgia trip to kind of as a boot on this deal.
Okay, just kind of to tie a bow on it to a certain extent.
If I'm going to do this, he probably negotiated that in. So, What would you give up to get to go to the road game of your choice? It's Good question.
Yeah, because I calculate Dallas technically as a road game when they play Texas A&M and Gerald, because
we really got 5 road games
this year. So when we were discussing, and both you and I kind of agreed, I've been to Baton Rouge. I'd love to go to a game, but his wedding falls on that day. So between the hedges is where you and I kind of fell in line on with the games this year at least. Now Oxford haven't been back since I'm 21, but I'm excited about that. So we got that to look forward to. Also this weekend we got the College World Series, which would have been a lot better if Arkansas was headed or in Omaha right now, but we know that's not indeed the case. We played the Tony Vitello, Peyton Manning clip yesterday, and you know what I found talking with Razorback fans? That they would rather have Texas win the whole thing than Tennessee. Their hatred, their disdain, the sudden uprising against that program in Knoxville has really caught an eye and battered an eye with Razorback fans. They really do not want Tennessee to win it all because, as you mentioned, how angry would you be if Tony Vitello won his first College World Series and Dave still hasn't won one?
But following some of your lie, I'm gonna do what you like to do to me. I'm gonna flip it around on you here. Following your logic, you can't be one of the great coaches in college baseball until you win a natty. So you're going to now say if that happens and Tennessee wins it all, that Tony's a better coach than Dave?
That's not what I've said. Let's be very.
No, I mean you said you can't be the best coach anywhere. You can't be that without it.
That's what I've
said. So now,
if
he has it, does that put him ahead of Dave in your opinion?
I said you can't be the best coach in the country without a national championship. That's exactly what I've said. And you're trying to make it that you can't be one of the best.
I said I was going to do exactly what you do to me, which is you twist it and turn it into your own arguments. That's exactly what I'm doing.
Listen, stop being past or holier than thou. We both
that's
do
exactly
it to mess
what
with
you
each
do.
other. Just stop it.
That's what doesn't sit well with me. And that's just life. Who always deserves something doesn't always get it. You know what I mean?
So Tony doesn't deserve it if they win.
Are you saying Dave doesn't?
No, I didn't say that.
That's the frustrating thing is he's worked so hard for so long and taken so many teams to Omaha, and obviously they're not there this year. All these years, and a guy that's head coach for 4 years got the natty. That's hard for me to swallow. But that's life. That's just not the way. It doesn't always work out the way it should.
That would pose an interesting question, though, and I don't know if it's one we want to have. Especially, what was my West Memphis?
Wes, was it Wes or
Willie?
That was it.
Because Willie in West Memphis is going to make a little call to Fox Sports Knoxville later today, and we're going to play that back on tomorrow's program. And that is going to be a tough pill for Willie to swallow if Tony Vitello wins the national championship and Dave does. I don't know how you. I mean, what's the argument that Dave's a better coach if Tony gets a national championship this year? That he's done it for longer, the longevity.
And the number of College World Series, 2 different programs to the College World Series. I mean, he just has. And this is going to be a statement that a Tennessee fan would obviously disagree with. But Dave's even if Tennessee won the national title, I would still say Dave's resume without the national title is better. Just
because of the longevity.
Because of the longevity. 2 different programs to the College World Series. The number of times he's been to the College World Series. He does have a. Was it Division II national title? I mean, so and I don't think those are way down the list in the conversation. But no, I don't think anyone listening, and I know we're all Razorback fans, is going to say that Tony Vitello is a better coach.
You don't think anyone listening is going to think that the Tennessee guy is better?
I'm just taking your argument and saying how you felt about it if that happened. I don't think Tennessee's going to win the national title though.
I'm going to be scared to get on sports talk radio that next day if they win it all because there's going to be some words that fly that next day. Because, I mean, legitimate, and it sucks, and I don't want it to happen because, like you mentioned, it's not like Dave hasn't been busting his tail for this Razorback program ever since 2003, 04, 09, 2012, 2015, 2018, 2019. You should have been back this year. But unfortunately, it's a conversation. If Tennessee does find a way to do it in these next 2 weeks, it's a conversation we'd have to have.
Yeah, I mean,
and it sucks, but that's what sports radio is. Sometimes you got to do topics that suck.
Saturday, Sunday, watching any of the college? Does any of that interest you now that the Hogs aren't in it?
A little bit, but I'm not going to be glued to it like I would if Arkansas was playing.
I think we get a segment out of it Monday. I just don't know how much conversation.
We'll control the show.
If the Hogs were there, we'd be there, and that'd be all we were talking about.
You and I agree. We both think Vanderbilt's going to do it the way Leiter and Rocker have been pitching lately, but we'll have to wait and see. A couple good teams down in Omaha. Starts Saturday?
2 games Saturday,
Okay.
2 games Sunday.
Yeah, so more of the Morning Rush coming up. Hour 3, Richard Davenport is next.
At any of the Clay Maxey companies, it's just an easy, customer-centered experience. We wanted to make it a one-stop shop, so we added Kawasaki and Can-Am and Hustler and Worldline. It's really been a nice add for us. We provide full service. We're doing pickup and delivery. We were able to add the Vexus line, which is a premier bass boat line. We want to make it easy. We want you to visit us at any of the Clay Maxey companies. Clay Maxey Ford and Harrison, Berryville, Motorsports, Marine, or Clay Maxey NWA.
The largest air show in the South is coming to Bryan, Arkansas. Mark your calendars for the Arkansas Heart Hospital Wings Over Bryan Air Show, June 19th at the Saline County Regional Airport. Featured acts include the high-flying Team Aeroshell, the Bulldog Formation Flight Team, and the 24,000 horsepower jet truck Aftershock. Tickets on sale at all Central Arkansas Big Red stores for only $15, and kids 12 and under get free gate admission. Visit wingsoverbryan.com for more information. It's the Arkansas Heart Hospital Wings Over Bryan Air Show, Father's Day weekend.
Standard Materials Group has immediate openings for ready-mix drivers in the Northwest Arkansas area. If you have a CDL license without an automatic restriction and want to be home every night, want to work with a company that offers great pay, benefits, and a great team environment with growth opportunities, apply today at jobs.crh.com. Again, that's jobs.crh.com. Standard Materials Group is an equal opportunity employer.
Summertime in Arkansas means pond and creek fishing, and nothing catches bass and bluegill in a pond like a Rebel Crick Hopper. You can twitch it, pop it, walk it, and swim it. It's the ultralight fishing lure that looks and acts like a real grasshopper. The Crick Hopper works great in tandem with light spinning rods and reels with 4 or 6 pound fishing line. Available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle shops everywhere. The Rebel Crick Hopper.
Harry Robinson Buick GMC wants to buy your vehicle, and they'll pay top dollar today. Pre-owned car values are at an all-time high, and your car is worth more today than it ever will be again. If you are driving a 2013 model or newer with 120,000 miles or less, bring it to Harry Robinson Buick GMC, and they will pay you more for your trade. Even if you don't want to buy a new car, they will still buy yours. Harry Robinson Buick GMC, exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Owning an LS tractor is about a lot of things.
For me, it's about lift capacity.
It's about the hydraulics.
Owning an LS, it's about how well it's made.
Steel, baby. More features.
Standard features.
It's about the land.
Having something passed down.
It's about having pride in my work.
It's about owning the best.
LS Tractor. What's it about for you?
Discover what LS Tractors are all about at R-Track, Arkansas's oldest LS Tractor dealer, on I-40 exit 58 Clarksville, or visit rtrackwithac.com.
Ramos Roofing is a local roofing company and have over 25 years of experience in the Oklahoma area. Are you looking for residential or commercial roofing need? Ramos Roofing is the business you can trust. Offering discounts for senior citizens, law enforcement, and healthcare workers. Ramos Roofing can help you with your insurance claim. Ramos Roofing, working with you to build a better home. Call 479-420-9903. That's 479-420-9903 for Ramos Roofing.
Farm Credit has been a trusted friend for over 100 years. They are ag financing experts. So whether you're a longtime farmer, new to farming, or buying your dream home or land in the country, their experienced staff has a plan to fit your goals, needs, and your bottom line. From farms to land, livestock, equipment, and more, Farm Credit finances it all. Learn more at myaglender.com. Farm Credit is an equal opportunity lender.
Riley Farm Dental at the entrance to Riley Farms provides every type of dental care and procedures for you and your family. From general dentistry, braces, implants, and cosmetics, Dr. Bo Sparkman and Dr. Brogan give all of their patients better lives with a better smile, more confidence, and a comfortable experience every time. Riley Farm Dental, 5901 Riley Park Drive, Suite A, at the entrance to Riley Farms. Call 226-3500 for an appointment or visit RileyFarmDental.com.
Hi, folks. Larry Rath here from Rath Auto Resources. I need a vacation. I bet you do too. But I can't take a break until I take in 57 trades. So this month, I'll pay you up to $4,000 more than Kelley Blue Book value when you trade for the Rath Road Ready vehicle of your choice. And we've got a great selection. Each one hand-picked and inspected in our Meineke Car Care Center. So send your old ride packing and get up to $4,000 more than it's worth when you hit the road in a nicer, newer car. Trip delayed by past credit mishaps? Don't worry, we've mapped out the road to more approvals, and you could get up to $4,000 more than Kelley Blue Book value for your trade. Keeping the car you have, get it ready for summer in our Meineke Car Care Center with free AC checks, half-off brakes, and buy 3 get 1 free on all tires. Only at Arkansas's favorite used car dealer, Rath Auto Resources, and the Meineke Car Care Center, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, or online, rathauto.com.
Requires bank approval. Negative equity may be refinanced. Offer absolutely ends by June 30th, 2021.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
Sunny sky today. Our high this afternoon will be right around 95 degrees. Mainly clear sky tonight. We drop down into the low 70s. Sunny skies, mid-90s on Friday, and then more of the same for Saturday. Lots of sunshine. Our high into the lower 90s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
Follow us on Twitter at HitThatLineAR and on Facebook and Instagram at HitThatLine.
You're listening to The Morning Rush live from the Busch Light Studios on ESPN 95.3 KERX Paris Fort Smith. This hour of The Morning Rush is brought to you by Bud Light, brewed with the best barley, rice, water, and hops to be America's favorite light beer. Bud Light. Please drink responsibly.
Hey, this is Darren McFadden. You're listening to The Morning Rush.
Live from the Busch Light Studios.
You're causing a major disturbance on my time.
If I'm here and you're here, doesn't that make it our time?
On your favorite Arkansas sports talk station. Streaming live from HitThatLine.com.
There's a lot of lions, tigers, and bears, but there ain't but one Razorback. Number one.
This is The Morning Rush.
Borderline erotic.
With Ty Richardson.
Okay. That's cool. I can dig it.
And Tommy Kraft.
Do I look happy?
What's wrong?
Lloyd!
The Morning Rush starts right now.
Going to be joined by Richard Davenport on a Recruiting Thursday coming up. We were discussing earlier, what is Arkansas known for? And I want to ask Richard in just a sec, what is Arkansas football known for? First thing recruits think of when they think of Arkansas football.
All right,
we'll do that in just a sec.
RD in just a moment. Brought to you by Burton Pools and Spas. That backyard of your dreams and backyard fun is just a stop away at Burton Pools and Spas in Springdale and in Fort Smith. Check out the selection of above-ground pools. Cash and carry savings this month at just $19.99. Don't miss your opportunity to really save a lot of money and have unlimited fun this summer. They also got a great lineup of above-ground pools from Doughboy, the best above-ground pool that you can buy, built to last for years of enjoyment by you and your family. See the collection of above-ground pools. Talk to the design team about an in-ground pool at Burton Pools and Spas, 0 Street in Fort Smith, just off I-49 at the 412 exit in Springdale, and always online at burtonpools.com. Burton Pools and Spas, your source for backyard fun.
So, Richard, when you're talking to recruits inside the state or outside the state of Arkansas, as we were talking about with kind of visiting fans, what's kind of the first thing that they know about the Razorback football program?
Before I answer this, let me. I want to say something. When I heard this first, when you were asking, what is Arkansas known for? I thought you was talking about the state. And every time I go out of state, travel, it's two things: Razorbacks or Bill Clinton. People always talk about. But as far as the Razorbacks, I would say Darren McFadden, the Hog Call, and right now, I would say maybe Jalen Catalon would be one of those guys that a lot of people talk about, just because of obviously of his past, his last season. So Darren McFadden, Hog Call, and Jalen Catalon, and Traylon Burks. Traylon Burks.
That, you know what, you brought up something that's important, RD. We got to think about this. You mentioned Burks and Catalan. It's their last year. You got to soak this in if you're a Razorback football fan because they're gone after this year. I know Burks is projected first round in every mock draft I've seen. Richard, what kind of draft expectation do you see with the hard-hitting safety for Mansfield legacy, Jalen Catalan?
Yeah, I totally agree with Traylon. There's no way he's going to be back for his senior year. Jalen, his height's going to hurt him. Now, his productivity, you look at that and you go, who cares? You know, if he can play like that, he can hit like that, he can cover like that, he can make plays. He's just all over the field. So, you know, you're going to have to find an NFL team that looks at the production and looks at his film and say, I don't care if he's 5'9", 5'10". He's everywhere. You know, he just makes plays, and that's what you need in a safety. So I'm not convinced that he's for sure leaving after this season, and he may very well be. I would definitely consider him if I was an NFL team. But I'm telling you, there's no doubt that NFL teams are looking at his size and thinking, man, we need a little bit more length.
Recruiting Thursday here on the Morning Rush. 2 ways we can go: camps and visits. I mean, it's good to have both back on campus and happening right now. Let's talk about the official visits, and it's been good to read your stories and see the headlines and read tweets of athletes that have had great visits. What's your takeaways as we've kind of gotten back to business as usual with welcoming recruits back to campus in the last few weeks?
Man, it is just so odd. I'm not going to say so odd. It is just different because obviously this hasn't happened in such a long time. And now, you know, in seeing some of the current Razorbacks, it's so odd because most of us, we haven't seen these guys in almost 2 years. And you've seen a difference in them, like Ricky Strongberg. I saw him the other day. Man, and I knew he was 300 plus, but the change in his body is just unbelievable, and seeing some other guys too. So that's kind of neat. But obviously with the camps, that brings prospects on campus, and you get offers put out there, and they've had some good kids come in on Monday. This all goes back to Jimmy Smith, who obviously coached at Cedar Grove in the Atlanta area. They had 20-plus kids from Cedar Grove make the trip from Atlanta to Fayetteville. That tells you a lot of what people think about Coach Smith, and for them to travel this far out. And hey, I see a pipeline coming with Cedar Grove. As long as Jimmy Smith's here, you're going to see more kids coming. Obviously, they got a running back commitment now from Cedar Grove. So, and then a couple guys the other day received offers. Melvin Lassiter, he's a kid that I really, really like. He's a 2024 linebacker from Kansas City who earned an offer, and he goes back home, and then he comes back and he camps yesterday with some teammates. I mean, usually guys camp and, you know, it's one day and they you know, hey, I've seen enough. I'm good. I'm going to go to another school. He comes back to a day later to camp again, and from what I understand, he's just loving Arkansas, so that's really good. He's 6'2", 237 pounds, and he does not look like a freshman, let me tell you. Then one of the Cedar Grove linebackers, a 2023 kid, got an offer from Arkansas. Everett Rusall, obviously from Cedar Grove, 6'2", about 205. He earned an offer from Arkansas, and just DMing him last night. Arkansas is in, it's early, very early, obviously, but Arkansas is in very good shape with him right now.
Yesterday, you wrote about receiver DJ Allen from Texas. Got an impressive offer list that includes several SEC schools in Notre Dame, and also defensive back Jalen Lewis out of Tennessee, who's got just equally as impressive a list: Arkansas, Florida State, Auburn. Tell us about these two guys. I thought it was an interesting read yesterday, and some guys that plan, as people are planning out their visits and how to allocate those. There's an interesting read on those two guys yesterday.
Yeah, two guys. Those are the two guys coming in for official visits this weekend. DJ Allen from Gladwater, Texas, about 5'11", 180 pounds. He's a speedster. He ran a 10.87 in the 100 meters as a freshman, and he ran a 10.82 in April at a regional meet. and he also broke the regional long jump. I really look at the long jump too as an athletic type gauge for kids, and he jumped almost 22.8 in a quarter. So that tells you that kid's got some serious athleticism. And then Jalen Lewis, 6'2", 175 pounds from Brownsville, Tennessee. Excuse me. Coach Carter's been working on him for a long time, and to be able to get a visit from him is big because I was talking to his coach last night. He's got 40-plus offers, and he's one of those guys. He may be a 3-star by a lot of services, but you put him in Houston, Texas, Dallas, Texas, the guy's a 4-star or above. So sometimes it's locale where you are. And he's got offers from Arkansas, Florida State, Auburn, Oklahoma, LSU, and Allen's got Michigan, Baylor, Southern Cal, Auburn, Notre Dame, like you said. So 2 guys that are definitely high on the Arkansas board coming in this weekend.
Richard Davenport with us, Recruiting Thursday here on the Morning Rush. Richard, I know you probably saw the report down at Arizona State where Herm Edwards' program is being investigated for hosting recruits during COVID. And I was wondering, man, what would happen if a coach or program tried to do that? Well, they're getting investigated. How big of a deal is this? And do you anticipate other programs getting investigated as well with the past year and a half going on?
Oh, my God. When I saw that, I was like, how stupid can you be? You cannot hide. The word's going to get out when you have that many people on campus when you're not supposed to be on campus and interacting with them. That's one of the dumbest things I've ever seen. And I don't see how you, as a coach, you keep your job. That is beyond anything I think I've seen as far as stupidity for a major college program, whether it be basketball or football. To do that and think you're going to be able to keep that under wraps with that many people, that is insane. I'm still stunned by it, man.
Yeah, I saw that, and I'm kind of like yourself. I looked at it again, and I was like, there's no way that actually happened. And, I know a lot of Arizona State fans, Richard, were making fun of Arizona and Sean Miller after the investigation, pending investigation, whatever you want to call it. And now it seems to come back and bite him in the butt, Tommy.
It did. I'm with Richard. How did you think you were going to keep this to?
They're high school kids.
If more than one person knows, it's not a secret,
yeah.
right? So I don't know how you're going to keep it from happening in a social media world from word getting out, and your competitors are looking for something to turn you in on.
Yeah.
So
and it's almost like that there was no COVID at Arizona State. They were acting totally normal, and you have that. I'm telling you, like when you have kids on campus, you usually oftentimes have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people with him. That is, if you had 20 prospects, you're probably going to have maybe close to 80 people total if you're hosting them for a weekend or a day or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So how in the world do you think that you could get away with that? That is beyond me, man.
Hey, we haven't visited with you this week, so I want to get your thoughts on Dal Loggins joining the staff as a tight ends coach, but we've kind of had conversation throughout the week. He brings a lot more to the table than just being able to coach tight ends. What are your thoughts as Arkansas has rounded out their staff this week?
Well, I'll piggyback off the great Tom Murphy. Dal is just one of those guys that he's very personable, just very, very engaging. That's number one. That's if you're going to be a good recruiter, you have to have that. You have to have personality. You have to have that ability to make people feel comfortable around you almost instantly. He has that, and then he has that resume of the NFL and OC and all of that. I was talking to Tyrus Washington, who made an official visit to Arkansas June the 4th through the 6th, tied in from Lee County, from Georgia. 6'4", 230 pounds, and 20-plus offers. And let me tell you, he's loving him some Dal Loggins because of that NFL background. And he's going to make a decision on July the 7th. And I think Arkansas is in very good shape. I think he's been waiting on see who Coach Pittman hired, and a lot of times we say, oh boy, it's a home run hire. This truly is a home run hire because, hey, we talk about Coach Musselman and his staff having so many NBA connections and experience and stuff like that. Well, here you got a guy that was in the NFL for a long time as an OC. His resume is going to catch the attention of a lot of people.
And he gives you flexibility down the road. If there's another opening, someone comes and takes someone off your staff. From what I've heard from everyone, he's coaching tight ends, but he can honestly coach any position on the offensive side if needed. So you've got someone that's got the versatility if you need to move the pieces around on the chessboard again next year this time because someone leaves.
No, there's no doubt. And he's a very, very, very proud Razorback.
Yeah.
And very proud Arkansan. I mean, he grew up mostly in Texas, but he makes sure that everybody knows he was born in Newport, and that's Arkansas's home, and he'll be able to sell the program very well.
He won't be leaving elsewhere to go home. I mean, he is home. That Brad Davis
Exactly.
left to go home. Justin Stepp left to go home. We've hit this point several times. He is home, so you won't have that concern at least.
Losing Brad Davis, I'm sure it was kind of a little bit of a shock, and it was. But right now, I think you have to look at it and go, hey, this how it all panned out for Arkansas. I think it was a win-win.
Yeah, it's an upgrade. I mean, with Sam still there, it's an upgrade. I think all the way around in total. So
I agree with you.
Thanks, Richard. Appreciate it, buddy. We'll do it next week on Recruiting Thursday. Okay.
All right, my man. We'll see you guys. Have a good one.
Thanks, RD. Appreciate you. The best in the business right there. Richard Davenport with us every Thursday here on the Morning Rush. You deal with banks a lot of times and great folks in that industry, but they all have banking degrees and business backgrounds. At Farm Credit of Western Arkansas, when you deal with one of their lenders, the majority of the folks at Farm Credit of Western Arkansas have an agricultural background, ag degrees. So they understand and they get exactly what you're trying to do. So if you're listening this morning, you got recreational land that you want to purchase or recreational land you want to refinance, or you're a farmer and you've got acreage that you'd like to refinance or look at your options, deal with the people that understand exactly what you go through and can get you the right loan and make it exactly the way it fits your business model as someone in the agricultural business. Hey, Farm Credit is ready to help you, whether it's farms, livestock, homes, recreational land. These are the things they understand best, and they can help you with financing of all size hunting tracts, farm tracts, with quick and easy financing. Farm Credit understands that hunting and fishing is a big part of what we do here in Arkansas, and they make it easy to finance that land at Farm Credit of Western Arkansas. Your local Farm Credit office is near you. There's 60-plus in our state. You can find one near you online at farmcredit.com and finance that hunting land, recreational land, or farmland you've always wanted this year.
Kevin Kopps, Patrick Wicklander, and Christian Franklin have been voted All-American by the National Collegiate Baseball Writers Association. Kevin is a first, Patrick is a second, and Christian is a third. Now, be keeping an eye out on social media, on your phone this Friday, tomorrow, at around 10:30, because that's when the Dick Hauser Trophy is going to be announced. And there's a very good chance. What percentage would you say that Kevin Kopps is going to end up winning this award?
Well, you'd have to be the favorite, right? I mean, he's been in the conversation. The College World Series hasn't started. I think even in the loss, that performance in Game 3 as the starter even furthers what someone should think of Kevin Kopps. So I don't think just the fact that he gave up the home run and he ends up tagged with the L, I think that entire performance in totality helps, doesn't hurt. So I would be surprised if it's anyone else. So
Vegas odds, you'd have him, like you said, as the favorite. I think
Vegas puts odds on that, but yeah.
I think most people would have him as the favorite. I think it would be a little disappointment if he didn't end up winning this Friday. Now, you said Golden Spikes, July 24th?
No, when we Googled it, it just said they're June 24th. There's the finalists that are announced, then voting begins, and then they announce the winner in July.
But it didn't give an actual date of when that is. Well, that's kind of a bummer.
Yeah.
So we'll keep you updated on that whenever it happens. That's something that I know you're excited about. You're also excited about Arkansas basketball, which seems like a while away because we've been talking football so much. 78 days out from Razorback football. We played the 78 win over the Oklahoma Sooners in that Orange Bowl where you dominated the Big 12. Big 8 at the time, right?
That would have been the Big 8 at the time.
Okay,
yes.
yeah, Big 8 at the time. Now your Big 12 foe in the Oklahoma Sooners.
That changed in 95.
95, okay. So that's who you're playing at the time. And that was a lot of fun. It's also going to be a lot of fun, I think, to watch Arkansas basketball this year. The Athletic has you preseason number 3 in the Southeastern Conference behind Kentucky, and it was either Tennessee or Alabama. I'm forgetting which one was above you.
Tennessee's been right there every year. I mean,
Regular season Rick, man.
They had kind of a disappointing end of their season.
Regular season Rick.
Will there be a program that kind of comes out of nowhere like Alabama did? You know, I don't think you can say Arkansas came out of nowhere, but they were picked 6th and had a better season than expected. So,
sleeping giant that woke up.
Well,
you woke it up. Can you keep it up though? I think so. I mean, that is what. If you talk to someone that knows college basketball, the fact that Arkansas has been a doormat for the last 25 years is a joke. Like, there is so much potential in this program. 2 years. That's all it took. Elite 8. First time 25 years. It took you 2.
It's easy to say you're going to replace Moses Moody. It's going to be a lot harder to do.
Very fair.
And
there's a reason he's going probably likely lottery coming up next July, or this July.
Justin and Van, I mean, you got some other key role players that aren't going to go in the lottery, but you wouldn't have been where you were without them.
I would actually argue, and I know that Moses, the more talented, he's got the more NBA upside. I would argue that Justin Smith is probably the most important player in your team this past year.
That's not an egregious take.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's a lot of people that would go along with it. The other question is the young players that we saw earn playing time, Devo and Jalen Williams. KK, who was injured, what kind of development will they be? You know, they weren't freshmen, the ones that played, weren't freshmen at the end of the year. You know, what level would they be at? Because that's the question of whether or not you can match the kind of season.
Mm-hmm. The 4
forget about
additions.
Exceeding what you did. Can you
match
Can you just match what you did last year?
The 4 additions, Stanley Mude, Chris Likes, Trey Wade, and Deese Tony. So those 4, you got to think about what they offer to the table. But like you said, you don't want to over-exaggerate or under-exaggerate the loss of Justin Smith, Jalen Tate, and Moses Moody, your 3 most notable guys that will not be on this roster this year.
What was it, 9 straight they won at the end of the regular season?
They won like 12, right?
Conference
games.
Oh,
regular season.
Yeah.
Okay,
I mean, just the run they went on to put themselves in. I mean, the season teetered right there. And the way they brought it together after those tough losses and that hard practice that Musselman talked about, that could have went one of 2 ways. And it obviously went the right direction. That was a team on the edge, and
it's fun waxing that butt against Alabama this past year. Watching
that first one wasn't so much fun.
Not so much fun.
All right, we got more to come, including your SEC report that's on the way. We're brought to you by NWA Gold and Silver, Bentonville, Fayetteville, and in Fort Smith. Great selection of fine jewelry that you'll find, including diamond engagement rings, diamond earrings, necklaces, pendants. They buy those items as well as gold or silver coins. So if you'd like to turn those items into cash today, they can do that for you, and they pay the most at NWA Gold and Silver. They're on North Walton in Bentonville, Nelson's Crossing by Jason's Deli in Fayetteville, and Rogers Avenue west of Central Mall in Fort Smith. That's NWA Gold and Silver, Bentonville, Fayetteville, and in Fort Smith.
With the SEC report, what's going on with John Cal at Kentucky? That's next.
Listen online at hitthatline.com.
Thanks, Tommy. Enjoy your show.
You're listening to The Morning Rush.
Hi, it's Jan from Toyota. Summer's finally here, and with a great deal on a new Camry, RAV4, Highlander, Tacoma, and more, you can celebrate all of your favorite summer holidays, like Memorial Day, Cinco de Mayo, Independence Day, Father's Day.
You're doing great, Jan.
Thanks, Dad. Love you. International Pizza Party Day. Pepperoni, please. And by pepperoni, I mean Hawaiian. Let's keep this between us, though. I have relatives in Boston. I'll take another slice of pepperoni, please. But hold the pepperoni. Let's go ahead and add ham and pineapple. Thanks.
Toyota, let's go places. Get $750 customer cash, or qualified lessees can lease a 2021 Camry LE for $269 a month for 36 months with $29.99 due at signing. Visit buyatoyota.com for details. Offers available in select states and N6121.
Coming to Bryant, Arkansas, Father's Day weekend. It's the Arkansas Heart Hospital Wings Over Bryant Air Show, June 19th at the Saline County Regional Airport. Kids 12 and under get free gate admission, and there's something to do for the entire family. Some of the top acts in the country will be on hand, including Warbirds in Action, the Texas T-Carts, and Team Aeroshell. Tickets on sale now at all Central Arkansas Big Red stores or online at wingsoverbryant.com. Treat your dad to a fun family event June 19th.
The Golf Nut has been Fort Smith's #1 golf shop since 1994. Take advantage now of Vice golf balls. Buy more, save more sip. Buy 5 or more dozen and pay only $28.99 per dozen. The Golf Nut has a great selection of shoes in stock, including the Nike Air Jordan AP G3s and the new Jordan Speed 5 Spikeless from Under Armour. Spend some time on the TrackMan and Foresight simulation bays. Just call for an appointment. As always, check Facebook for daily specials. The Golf Nut, 5121 Towson Avenue, your #1 golf shop since 1994.
Need a little something to get you through hump day? Swing by Sody's and save 10% on all regular priced wine, cheese, and boar's head meats today. That's right, it's Wine and Cheese Wednesday at Sody's. Experience different at Sody's Wine and Spirits off I-540 on Phoenix Avenue.
Every day is worth celebrating at Uncorked. Cocktails, wine, craft beer, bourbons, and unbelievably great food. Uncorked on Phoenix Avenue next to Sody's.
Loading the kids in the car, brokering peace in the back seat, mastering the snack handoff without even looking. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with auto owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. We work with independent agents who keep insurance simple, so you can worry about more important things, like figuring out what's growing in that cup holder. That's simple human sense.
Call Kohler and Green Insurance today in Fort Smith at 484-9888 and Kohler and Green Insurance in Van Buren at 474-9888.
Are you looking for a new place to call home? Whether you're looking for an apartment, duplex, townhome, or a house, Trinity Multifamily has you covered. They even have options in surrounding states, from Texas to Michigan and Kansas to Tennessee. If you're looking for a new place to call home, make Trinity Multifamily your first call at 479-452-1817. That's 479-452-1817. Or online at trinitymultifamily.com to search rental properties near you.
When you want beer, you go to a bar. When you want top shelf spirits, wines, handcrafted cocktails, and cigars, in an atmosphere benefiting a destination, you go to 906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge. Try our new menu items including fish and chips, classic club sandwiches, Caesar and Cobb salads, or stick to your favorites, dine in or carry out. Enjoy our state-of-the-art air filtration system. 906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge, defining nightlife in downtown Fort Smith. Doors open at 4 Tuesday through Saturday.
Fitness will always be about keeping a routine. And the best routines in life will always make time for enjoying yourself. Michelob Ultra, superior light beer. Enjoy responsibly. AB Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
New Bud Light Seltzer?
Yep.
A hard seltzer with a hint of fruit flavor.
Yep.
Can I try one?
Yep.
That tastes great.
Told you.
Bud Light Seltzer, unquestionably good. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Seltzer, IRC Beers, beer in Texas, St. Louis, Missouri.
Locally owned Lumber One can handle all of your building needs. They've built their business on having great relationships with everybody from contractors and builders to the everyday build-it-yourself. Lumber One is a full-line door shop to handle all of your door, window, and trim needs. And along with lumber, roofing and drywall products, attic wall and floor insulation is available. Lumber One also does blueprint takeoff with access to design services with estimates available. So go where the pros go. Lumber One, located on Industrial Park Road in Van Buren.
There's an old saying, the more things change, the more they stay the same. Hi, this is Scott at Calico County. 2021 is here, and no doubt a lot has changed in the last year. But something that has stayed the same is Calico County's award-winning food. Great portions that are fresh and always cooked from scratch. Something that we have changed is improved curbside service for those of you that don't want to fight the crowds. And of course, we will never change those great cinnamon rolls that everyone loves. So for breakfast, lunch, dinner, or catering, it's Calico County, just off Rogers Avenue, behind Randall Ford.
ESPN 95.3.
The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Crabb.
Franks off play action, pumps once, wants to go into the end zone, got a man, it's complete, touchdown Arkansas! Devion Warren was wide open, and the Razorbacks reclaim the lead.
All your favorite podcasts in one place. The Hit That Line Podcast Network. Brought to you by Breeden RV Center. Just search Hit That Line wherever you listen to podcasts.
So we're going to get into our SEC report coming up next segment here on the Morning Rush. But I do want to discuss something that we've been talking about. What is Arkansas known for? Now, we heard from Richard. He was listening to our conversation earlier. He was talking about from a football standpoint. He mentioned Traylon Burks, Jalen Catalon as the guys of late. The Hog Call, Darren McFadden, kind of more staple known names. But he also said, Bill Clinton and what was the other thing?
He said Bill Clinton and the Razorbacks.
And the Razorbacks. And, I mean, you think about former President Clinton, the guy that was wearing the hog hat, him and Nolan Richardson, great relationship there. I mean, that was a big part of what made Arkansas kind of popular in the 90s.
Well, I mean, if you have a president from your state, they're always going to be at the top of the list. Unless Elvis is from here, which he got a haircut in our state once. But unless Elvis, I mean, I don't know what else could top that.
Yeah.
The Beatles weren't from here. So, I mean, we're running out of names, when you get past Elvis, the Beatles, Bill Clinton's, still the most iconic Arkansan ever, right?
Yeah. And I didn't necessarily believe in what he believed in politically, but, I mean, he was a Razorback. It's like you said, it's the most popular guy in the United States of America.
Most well-known.
Is wearing a hog hat and attending your games.
Right.
That doesn't get much better than that. But we'll get into that more. Sports, state, whatever it may be. Your calls, your text, 877-377-6963. What is Arkansas known for?
Brunch day coming up Saturday at Joe's Grill and Cantina, 10:45. That's the normal opening time. Full menu plus a brunch menu on Saturdays at Joe's Grill and Cantina. Several of your brunch favorites that you're going to like that's kind of been their own creations there at Joe's. So you're really going to like the breakfast burrito, the frittata. They got a lot of things to choose from. A good brunch menu for you to choose from, plus mimosas, cocktails, all your breakfast favorite, and the full menu is available. So if you got part of your group still wants some breakfast, part of your group wants lunch, Joe's is a great place to start on Saturdays at 10:45. Live music on the patio Tuesday nights, Saturday nights. They have it there. So if you'd like to get out and have a cold one and check out some local music, they've got that for you, plus the dollar tacos on Tuesdays and Saturdays as well. Joe's Grill and Cantina. It's at 3400 South 74th Street across from Harps in Fort Smith.
I tried to get SmackDown to do another Chaos at the Cantina, but he wasn't about it, Tommy.
No, he didn't. He didn't want to exit under those terms.
He did have to move, so I understand.
We got to do something for him tomorrow, I guess. We got anything cooked up?
I thought he was supposed to give us something. No.
No.
You gave him the shot glass. You've done all you can do.
we need to work a little on-air send-off, I guess, for him up tomorrow. So
okay, I will put that in the rundown because it has been a good ride. Shame on the Morning Rush listeners that were texting. Thank God, Matt. And then there was like 2, but I was just like, Matt has been a fantastic teammate, a great person to be around, and a great person to eat with. I know that for sure. So it's been a fun close to a year and a half that we've had Matt Smackdown Jenkins aboard here, and we'll make sure he gets the send-off that he deserves. I don't know about a gift. I don't know if he's earned that, but we'll at least give him a send-off here on the Morning Rush. So Bill Clinton was what Richard said, along with the Arkansas Razorbacks. When you think Arkansas, do you think the fiddle? Apparently the fiddle is the state instrument.
It may be, but I don't know. I don't think the fiddle.
Do you know anyone that plays the fiddle?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Is he good? She good?
He's good, yeah.
Okay. I'm trying to think. The Razorbacks, that's a kind of an easy answer. What about ice storms? Do you think we're known as a state by our ice storms? Because we've had some bad ones over the years.
We could probably get more ice than we do snow, but I mean, we have had some bad ones. I always get puckered when we have these ice storms. Ice and radio towers do not
mix.
Do not mix. And so I'm a fan of no ice, ever. So I don't like the winter weather. Not because I don't like winter weather. I'd rather go somewhere for winter weather.
We were lucky where my street was. So I live the house on the main, not the main drag, but kind of on the main drag that it got paved. So when we had the snow and stuff, and we were wondering how we're going to get into work, luckily I just pulled my little Camry and pulled out, and it was right there. So ice storm got lucky in that case, but I know that's not fun. I remember the great ice storm of 01. Is that when it was?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
01? Yeah, that was
one of our stations, the tower brought down. 96.3.
Brought down.
Bam, on the ground.
Wow. Insurance cover that?
Well, yeah, but, I mean, you're off the air for a number of days as a result.
Oh, man, that sounds That sounds awful. So what is the number one thing you think of when it comes to what Arkansas is known for? And the reason we talk about this morning is because I've seen message boards talk about Walmart money, rice production, poultry production.
I guess it always, if you're a sports-minded person, you're going to think the Razorbacks. If you think politics, you think Bill Clinton. If you live here, there's so many things. I think from the outside looking in, people don't understand, Petit Jean Park, and Petit Jean Mountain, and Mount Nebo, and the White River, and just some of the natural beauty we have in this state. You got to get here to really figure it out. But I think some of the things you said, people from the outside think there's a Walmart on every corner. It's close. It's every other corner, but,
James and Elkins and Tyler and Springfield say Johnny Cash.
He's from here, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So that's what they're saying it's from. What city is he from again? In Arkansas?
I'd have to Google that. I should know that.
Okay, hometown of.
It's on the eastern side of the state.
Of Johnny Cash. I'll give you 3 guesses, Tommy.
Okay. Probably name it if you gave me an ABC, but.
Okay, is it?
You don't even know.
I don't know any.
To put in
I was going to say I don't know any. Is it Hazen? Is
Nope.
it Wynn? Or is it Kingsland?
Kingsland, I would guess.
Kingsland.
Yeah.
So. Had a lot of success.
I knew it wasn't from the other two.
Had a lot of success in Memphis and other places, obviously. Legendary performer.
James says it's Dyess, Arkansas. I knew it was one of these towns that wasn't common. So
it says born, and this is Wikipedia, so take this as what it's worth.
Yeah.
Born, and I say that. People always say take Wikipedia for what it's worth. Wikipedia helped me get through college with some of the information I found. Now, it wasn't always right.
The modern-day Cliff Notes.
Just put it on my report.
Do you ever use Cliff Notes for anything?
Oh, yeah.
We had to go buy the printed version, buy the book,
Tommy, we use Cliff Notes. When I didn't want to read a book for reading comprehension or Comp 1 or Comp 2, just read the Cliff Notes. If I wasn't interested, just read it. Yep. It was the exact same questions that were on the quiz. That's working smart, not hard when it comes
Unless
to.
your teacher figures it out.
Yeah.
Streaming live from hitthatline.com.
I love the show, guys. Listen to you every morning.
You're listening to The Morning Rush.
Standard Materials Group has immediate openings for ready-mix drivers in the Northwest Arkansas area. If you have a CDL license without an automatic restriction and want to be home every night, want to work with a company that offers great pay, benefits, and a great team environment with growth opportunities, apply today at jobs.crh.com. Again, that's jobs.crh.com. Standard Materials Group is an equal opportunity employer.
It's time to say goodbye to contacts, glasses, or bifocals with LASIK or clear lens exchange by Volvision in Northwest Arkansas. Mention ESPN for $500 off your LASIK or clear lens exchange procedure. A quick 15-minute procedure, easy 24-hour recovery no matter your age. Freedom from contacts and glasses is an option for you. Volvision, the official eye care providers of the Arkansas Razorbacks. Go Hogs! Discount cannot be combined with other offers or discounts.
Burton Pools and Spas is your source for backyard fun. Cool off in your own above-ground pool this summer. Cash and carry savings at only $19.99. Don't miss this opportunity to make your backyard fun this summer. Ask about Burton's full line of Doughboy above-ground pools that are built to last for years. Cash and carry savings on above-ground pools going on now at Burton Pools and Spas in Springdale and in Fort Smith, and always online at burtonpools.com. Burton Pools and Spas, your source for backyard fun.
These days we Google everything, but the practical advice about painting comes from the paint store in Van Buren. For 33 years we have worked with professionals as well as homeowners to share the best tips and techniques. Richards Paint, made in USA. Wooster Rollers, made in USA. Corona Brushes, made in USA. We want nothing more than to share our knowledge to help you achieve the best paint job. Friendly, expert, professional. The paint store in Van Buren.
Harry Robinson Buick GMC wants to buy your vehicle, and they'll pay top dollar today. Pre-owned car values are at an all-time high, and your car is worth more today than it ever will be again. If you are driving a 2013 model or newer with 120,000 miles or less, bring it to Harry Robinson Buick GMC, and they will pay you more for your trade. Even if you don't want to buy a new car, they will still buy yours. Harry Robinson Buick GMC, exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith. This Father's Day, give Dad that special gift from Jelco Outdoors. Rods and reels and a large selection of tackle for the fishermen. For the dad that loves to hunt, Jelco has it all, no matter the hunting season or game. For the working man, Jelco has been taking care of Dad since 1983 with their large selection of clothing and footwear. Jelco gift cards are always a hit. This Father's Day, shop local. Shop Jelco Outdoors, 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith. Happy Father's Day to all dads from Jelco Outdoors.
Law's Drugstore in Fort Smith has COVID vaccinations available today for you and your family. Law's Drugstore has the Pfizer vaccine for ages 12 and up and the Johnson & Johnson vaccine for ages 18 and older. Just call 452-6116 to schedule your appointment or stop by Law's Drugstore at 6802 Rogers Avenue behind Outback Steakhouse. Law's Drugstore, open 6 days a week to safely care for you and your family. Call now, 452-6116.
Frank Girl Furniture knows the price of lumber, houses, cars, and gas are going up. We thought you might need a break. For the month of June, Frank Girl Furniture is doing no sales tax. You heard right, no sales tax on living room, dining room, and bedroom. American-made furniture, in-store no credit check financing, and service after the sale. Frank Roll Furniture, 405 4th Street, Barling, Arkansas. Appliances and electronics excluded.
Have you ever been to River City Bistro for a brunch on the weekends? Every Saturday and Sunday, River City is open at 10 a.m. with a special brunch menu. Eggs and omelets any way you like. Premium bacon, sausage and ham, waffles, eggs Benedict, and a great drink menu featuring mimosas, Bloody Marys, and all your brunch favorites. We will see you for brunch every Saturday and Sunday starting at 10 a.m. at River City Bistro, 7320 Rogers Avenue in the Stonewood Village Shopping Center.
Did you know that you can get your car serviced or repaired without ever leaving your house? All you have to do is call Jody's Auto Service Center at 479-649-3399. Jody's will pick up your vehicle, service or repair it for you, and return it fully disinfected to your driveway. Pickup and delivery is free for jobs $75 or more. Jobs less than $75 can be picked up and returned for a $10 fee. Let Jody's Auto Service Centers handle all your service and vehicle repair needs. Call 479-649-3399. Jody's Auto Service Center.
Papa's Pub and Pizzeria has lunch specials. Every day, you can get a small pizza for $6, a side salad for $4, a chef salad for $7, or a single slice for $3. Their $10 combos include a small pizza, side salad, and a drink, or a single slice chef salad and a drink. Every Wednesday is Wing Wednesday. 10 wings for just $5.95. Call Papa's Pub at 479-783-9941 or check them out online at papaspub.com. 508 Garrison Avenue in downtown Fort Smith.
ESPN 95.3.
Good morning to the Morning Rush, everybody.
Mallett might want it all on the first play again. To the corner. Oh, what a catch!
Follow the show on Twitter at HitThatLineAR and on Facebook and Instagram at HitThatLine.
Last segment here on the Morning Rush, your SEC report coming up in just a second. I want to talk about what's happening with Kentucky basketball and John Calipari as we get into our SEC update.
Somebody said we've got SEC bias. Deal with it. They're the best.
In the SEC, it just means more.
I know one thing. The SEC just got a little tougher.
This is your SEC update on the Morning Rush.
SEC report brought to you by Will's RV, 5 miles west of exit 72, off I-49 in Springdale. These guys have the best brands and the best prices and a lifetime warranty. I don't know. They've got everything you need right there. Grand Design, Forest River, KZ, Heartland, Keystone, Alliance, and a lifetime warranty on every new RV. Plus, they have a mobile service shuttle that will come to you. They've got it all. Will's RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Will's RV.
So a report coming out of Yahoo Sports discussing John Calipari. Is it Calipari? Calipari is interested to returning to the NBA thanks to the changing dynamics and massive expectations at Kentucky. Now, they're coming off a 9-16 record. When asked about this, he said, it's that time of the year where rumors always get started. I think this has some teeth to it. I think there's a legitimate potential linkage to him, at least his agent, which I'm assuming is Jimmy Sexton, because Sexton has all those big dogs, that he could look, not necessarily go, but look at potential exit from Lexington?
I was listening to Jay Will and Casey and Keyshawn Johnson on the way in, and they were talking a little bit about this, but there's a tie or a connection between him and Minnesota. Here's the thing I can't get past. And I know they got a lot of money in the NBA to do whatever they want, but he's making $9.2 something million at Kentucky. How are they going to top that? I mean, I know that you got billionaire owners, but they're paying their money to the players.
Yep.
Most of these coaches in the NBA aren't making, I don't know how many are making more than 9. So, I mean, financially, do you want out to – I just don't know how an NBA franchise is going to pay him 10 or 12 or whatever it takes.
It says this is according to Audacity. What's the – it's not Intercom anymore. What did they change their name?
Audacity.
So they are, according to this report, Pop is the highest paid at $11 million. Nash is next at $8.7. Steve Nash.
So there's only one coach in the NBA making more money than he's making at Kentucky.
Correct. I don't know.
He's making – says online he's making $9.2 million. So, I mean, are you going to hire a guy
and
to come in?
And he's failed in the NBA, right?
Yeah. He's was it the New Jersey Nets? And
yeah.
Was there another stop? I know it's the Nets. But is he going – is a franchise willing to, to bet on the future here? To pay him what I would presume would be more than Pop's making.
Mm-hmm. Here's what you need to worry about.
You wouldn't leave Kentucky making 9 and all the security in the world there, lifetime deal, to go to an NBA job making
where there's no security,
9 or 10, or you wouldn't do that.
Here would be the issue that B in Clarksville brought up, because you talked about something that was very important earlier. K's gone after this year. Mm-hmm. We'll see how the transition goes with his former point guard, John Shire. Hubert Davis is taking over for Roy Williams this year. That's 2 Hall of Fame coaches at Blue Bloods that you don't know how it's going to pan out, if they're going to be able to transition. Now, Hall of Famer John Beilein to Juwan Howard has gone over really well. Mm-hmm. Juwan Howard has done a fantastic job for the Wolverine program. But even Michigan is not the same level as Duke in North Carolina. So there is a ton of pressure on those 2 individuals, John this next year and Hubert this year. If Callan Dietz leaves, here's what you should be thinking out as an Arkansas fan. 1, this is your time. You have potentially 3 of the best college basketball programs that you don't know what's going to happen to them. 2, and here's the scary part. You better hope that Muss doesn't jump ship for Lexington, Kentucky. Mm-hmm. You've seen it happen before. Now, I know it was an interdivision and interconference at the time with Eddie Sutton moving on from Arkansas to Kentucky. But let me tell you, and this sucks to say, and I hate saying it, the Kentucky basketball brand, the school itself, is still a better job than what Arkansas offers. Now, I would hope that Mrs. Danielle, Eric, Mariah, Michael, Matthew, and all of them like what the Northwest Arkansas area has to offer, loves being a part of this program and that, which oftentimes when people move here, they do, regardless of the case. But that would be something else that hasn't been brought to my attention this morning, except for when B just did it, that you should be concerned with if this was to indeed happen.
And I think he would be someone they would be interested in talking to.
No question.
When you hear Coach Muss talk on the topic of a great job and what makes Arkansas a great job for him, his first answer is president and AD, and him and Hunter Yurachek have, and he's spoke on this, and you see it publicly. Hunter's got a great relationship with his head coaches in the sports that we watch and pay attention to the most. I think, we talk about money, and you wouldn't leave, talking about Callaman to go, you wouldn't leave $9 million for 10 or 11 with no security in the NBA. What in life, particularly in Arkansas, but can you not do with $4 million that you could do with 6? I mean, I know it's $2 million, but it's not changing your lifestyle. So there's other considerations to factor in besides, hey, it's $2 million. I understand it's $2 million a year, but we can't comprehend that because we've never had that kind of financial security.
One day.
But you can, well, I hope so, for both of us. But it's not going to improve your vacation. You're not going to drive a better car. You're not going to live in a bigger house because you make $1 million more. We would because we don't make $1 million now. But so there's other things that are important to these guys beyond just how many O's are on the contract.
You mentioned the connection between Hunter Yurachek and Eric Musselman. You got to remember, Yurachek's background is basketball. He'd never say this. He'd never say this publicly, but I watched him at sporting events and I interacted with him from a obviously a what's it called, virtual standpoint or whatever,
over Zoom.
I found that passion for football, passion for baseball, but that dude, I mean, I'm telling you, when you walked outside of Bankers Life Arena and Arkansas had just beaten Oral Roberts, and you saw that man go ballistic in front of the Razorback fans, that was a guy that, to me, places a value in basketball personally more than any other sport. I've never seen an athletic director. I know Jeff Long slid in the mud one time after the girls beat the number 2 team in the country or whatever.
In a suit.
Yeah, in a suit, which was funny. And listen, I know some of you
like the fact that Hunter doesn't wear a suit all the time.
He was. I mean, he looked like a fan, and he wasn't. Yeah. He wasn't inebriated. It wasn't. He was just embracing the Arkansas. And I mean, I'm telling you, go watch. I think Troy Lynch down there in Fox 16 in Little Rock has the video. Go watch the video of Hunter Yurachek with Razorback fans outside of Bankers Life and tell me that dude isn't just doing that for show. There is a passion that echoes in every fiber of his being when it comes to this Razorback basketball
You always
program.
get uncomfortable when your boss changes. I don't care how it goes. I mean, the person that hired you, you're comfortable with him because you're there. So I'm going to tell you, if Hunter Yurachek ever leaves, it should make all of us uncomfortable with the head coaches you want to stay. And I think guys like Dave Van Horn and Sam Pittman, they're locked in. They're here for Arkansas. But I'm going to tell you, it would make you uncomfortable if a better gig came up for Hunter.
Yeah.
Because he has earned the trust through his actions with these critical key head coaches.
Yeah, and that's what I've said. And people would say, well, Ty, why are you campaigning for the athletic director to get a new job? Well, what I'm saying is
he's insurance on your head coaches.
Yeah. Like the relationships, Dave Van Horn's talked about it. We've had Coach Pittman on. We've had Musson on. And every single one of them in a different way, because they talk differently and act differently, have gone and said that he has been a massive part of their success in their current programs. Let's welcome in PA and Texarkana this morning. He's got a comment on John Calipari and Eric Musselman. What's up, PA?
Yeah, morning, guys. When you speak of Calipari maybe going to the NBA, I thought, well, he could, and they would probably be after Musselman up there in Lexington. But, Muss doesn't impress me. Of course, I don't know him personally, but he doesn't impress me to be the type that wants to get advice from big boosters and UK Nation. And it's the same up there in Lexington with basketball as it is at UT and Austin with football. I mean, you have these boosters knocking on your door, calling you, texting you, or whatever, and telling you, well, we got to pick it up, or there's this guy over in Northern California you may want to look at. I just don't think that Muss is I think he's a man, a single man, not a single man, but a man to himself, and he didn't want to hear that kind of crap from the UK boosters and UT alumni. That's just my opinion. I think he's a strong-minded
individual,
good coach, and I don't think he wants to hear crap from UK boosters. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, PA, real quick, let me ask you something. So does because I always hear about the Auburn boosters, the Texas boosters, the Kentucky boosters from Arkansas fans. Do you think Arkansas has those boosters? Do you think they have the ones that are meddling, constantly asking coaches, calling aid? Do you think they have those boosters?
Not near as many. I think I really don't. I know we have a lot of guys who have a lot of money. We have several billionaires who could if they wanted to, but I don't think we do. No, I really don't. And I just think that Muss is his own man, and I don't think he he wants to hear that from people who don't know anything about the game.
Okay.
That's it.
PA, appreciate your call, buddy. Got a text here from Josefa in Fort Smith talking about that he doesn't think Danielle is going to let the Musselman family leave the state of Arkansas. She seems to really like it here. What do you always say, Tommy, when it comes to coaches?
Happy wife, happy life.
And Mama gets her say where she goes.
But
well,
it's always part of the coach's wife job to give the perception that everything is wonderful.
And listen, you're 1,000% correct on that. So,
but I'm just telling you, if Mick Cronin somehow tomorrow was out at UCLA, I'd be really worried.
But what do
There's
they
certain jobs out on the West Coast I worry about, and that's
but what
number
do they
one
do?
on my
What
list.
do they do? They got to the Final Four this past year, so that's great. I don't know what Andy Enfield and USC, they got to the tournament, I think. I don't think they did anything, but yeah, it's like you say, if you're an Arkansas basketball fan, you should be cheering for Duke, North Carolina, Kentucky, USC, and UCLA. I know that's hard to stomach, especially since UCLA beat in the 95 championship, but that's just kind of where you're at right now. Good show today. Last one tomorrow. SmackDown's final show on the Morning Rush in halftime.
Hi, it's Jan from Toyota.
Dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacale.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouth.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
This song might make you feel cool, but it perfectly describes a fool. I'm gonna take my horse to the old town road and gonna ride till I can't no more, and can't nobody tell me nothing. This path will only lead you to God's wrath, because the Bible says the wicked refuse discipline and treat his words like trash. What good is a nice beat when you're headed down the wrong street? I'm Pastor Heath from Woodland. Think about it.